Oke, good afternoon, selamat siang semua.
Selamat siang semua. Kok kayak udah nggak ada tenaga lagi gitu. Coba sekali lagi. Selamat siang semua. Masih semangat siang hari ini? Kok lesum? Selamat siang semua.
Sebentar. Udah pada makan siang belum? Pantes. Coba sekali lagi ya. Selamat siang semua. Kurang keras. Selamat siang semua. Oke.
Kita langsung mulai aja ya.
Iya.
Good afternoon, everyone, honorable guests, esteemed chairs, delegates, excellencies, good afternoon. Please let me reintroduce myself. My name is Edlin Adisa. From the International University of Liangsong, Indonesia, co-founded by Dr. Ilham Akbar Habibie. Joined with me is my fellow colleague.
And my name is Nadif Mohamad Farhan, and I am from International University Liangsong, Indonesia.
The Habibie Festival was established in 2016 for the passion of technology and innovation. Today, many inspiring innovators and technologists has come together joining us in the 4th annual Habibie Festival held in Jakarta, all sharing with us their stories and innovation from their respective field.
This is the International Habibie Festival is a 3 days event which has commenced from yesterday afternoon. The International Youth Forum joined by students from various schools across Indonesia. We started this morning discussing the role of technology in education.
The Habibie Festival is equipped with many organizations, innovation and technology from universities across Jakarta and Indonesia, all to highlight the key components of the Industry 4.0. Here, you will be given an opportunity to see the collaboration of great thinkers from different walks of life. This afternoon, we will continue our perplexing yet fruitful discussion regarding the ecosystem education, teaching the 4.0 millennials, followed by the empowerment of youth in the digital economy. Our first speaker for this session is Mr. Jawal Sidhu, the great mind behind the SIS Group. He is the founder and the co-chairman of the SIS Group, and also the strategic partnership with the International Finance Corporation, the Great World Bank. Mr. Jaspal pays great attention to education and is passionate on to bring equal quality education to different income levels. He has been living in Indonesia for 25 years, working as an engineer throughout the archipelago. Given his expertise, it is no surprise that he has spoken in various international conferences. In London this year, the SIS is awarded the prestigious Financial Times International Finance Corporation Global 2019 Transformational Award for its work and impact in education, largely for the education ecosystem that is created to make schools affordable. Without further ado, it is our honor to bring Mr. Jaspal to the stage, the one and only Mr. Jaspal Sidhu. Please give him a round of applause in welcoming our guest today. The floor is yours.
Good afternoon. Selamat siang. Let me first thank the organizers of the IEF, especially Pak Ilham Habibie, Mr. Sachin and Pak Shoeb Kagda, for such a wonderful, wonderful event. This is a tremendous opportunity for us to learn and to network. I've been involved in the education industry in Indonesia for almost 30 years. Coba bayangin, 30 tahun saya bergerak di bidang pendidikan. Okay, let's talk about Indonesia. 230 million people, 17,000 islands, 55 million students. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the world's 4th largest education system. And this is a country dominated by a young population. Ini adalah sebuah negara yang didominasi oleh anak muda, oleh kalian, oleh Anda, oleh Anda, oleh Anda. The median age is 28. Indonesia needs to take advantage of this. The world recognizes this. The Forbes magazine recently called Indonesia the new tiger of Southeast Asia, Macan Asia. But like any large country, there are challenges. Oh yeah. Indonesia punya tantangan sendiri. Only 70% of those with jobs have finished high school, and less than 10% have a university degree. Why? The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, measures educational systems by randomly picking 15-year-olds across Indonesia, looking at application, not content. Jadi tes international PISA melihat aplikasi, bukan jawapan yang berbentuk hanya dengan satu kata. In math, Indonesia is in the bottom 1/5. In reading, Indonesia is in the bottom 1/5. In science, Indonesia is in the bottom 1/5. Tunggu dulu. There are more challenges, not only for Indonesia, but for many countries in the world. OECD estimates that in the next 10 to 20 years, 14% of your jobs are at high risk, while another 32% will see a significant change. Berarti 50% pekerjaan yang di luar akan dipengaruhi oleh teknologi. Di sini, maksud pengaruhi adalah peluang untuk bekerja akan berkurang atau berubah. But there is good news. Ada kabar baik. One, Indonesia has a moderate and a very forward-thinking government. Presiden Jokowi telah membuktikan fokus beliau pada pendidikan dengan anggaran yang lebih tinggi. And this morning we heard from people like Pak Ananto. There are visionaries in the Ministry of Education. The second point is the private sector. Thanks to the Indonesian government, people like me, many of you, we are active in the private sector. Kerana Pak Jokowi dan pemerintah Indonesia yang sangat berpikir ke depan, kami dari swasta mempunyai semangat untuk bermain peranan di bidang pendidikan. But let me explain what I am doing in the education sector and how I built an ecosystem. In 1996, I started SIS, One of the most expensive international school in Indonesia was 28,000 US dollars per child, per year. 33 juta per bulan loh, kalau kita hitung kurs sekarang. Great school, wonderful facilities, great teachers, tapi mahal. A lot of the top management from companies, embassies, successful people go there. My children went there, but I didn't pay. My company paid. But I am a son of a doorman. Bapak saya adalah seorang satpam di Singapura. Kalau suruh saya bayar, saya nggak mampu. So I decided it is time to enter the education industry and make a change. Disitulah saya punya misi untuk memberi akses pendidikan yang bermutu ke beberapa tingkat masyarakat Indonesia. What did I do? I halved that to $14,000 a year and I opened an SIS in South Jakarta. Tapi masih mahal loh, 14,000. So I went to the World Bank, the IFC, and I worked with them. And I halved that to $7,000 a year. And I opened a school in North, East, and West Jakarta. Next year, we are going to work to open a school in Surabaya, Bandung, and Makassar. But $7,000 is still expensive. Anak satpam seperti saya masih nggak mampu. So, I halved that to $4,000 a year, and I open in Medan, Semarang, and Cilegon. Ladies and gentlemen, that is also expensive. So I halved that again to $2,000, and I open in Palembang. And we are going to do another 20 schools across Indonesia under my new brand, Inspirasi, focusing on high quality education, focusing on Indonesian art, music, the environment, and the values of Pancasila. I hope if God keeps me alive and energetic, I'm going to halve that to $700. That's my dream. How did I do it? How did we reduce school fees and maintain quality? We have students going to Berkeley, Imperial College, and NUS. How did we do it? Well, we created an ecosystem encouraging all the SIS schools to collaborate. The most expensive school collaborating with the mid-price, with the lower school, with the budget school, all the time, where teachers share ideas, where heads of school meet, where administrators meet. No school operates in isolation. Contohnya, lewat ekosistem ini, umpamanya seorang guru di SIS Palembang yang punya yuran sekolah yang paling murah, guru itu mendapat akses kepada guru di ekosistem kita. The thinking out there is the cheaper the school, the worse the quality. Pemikirannya, menurut saya yang nggak benar, adalah semakin murah yuran sekolah, semakin buruk kualitasnya. It can be. My friend from the World Bank said to me, Jaspal, the best school I saw in the world was under a tree in Africa. So it is not about facilities. It is about the teacher. Fasilitas tidak akan membuat sekolah yang baik. Hanya seorang guru yang akan melakukannya. There are so many teachers here. If you are a teacher, put up your hand. Can we all give them a big hand, please? So this ecosystem that me and my friends and SIS created, is this acknowledged? Well, that SIS ecosystem was recently acknowledged in London. We are the only school group in the world to be awarded the Global Financial Times World Bank Educational Ecosystem Award, an ecosystem that can help scale and reduce fees while maintaining quality. And I take this story of Indonesia to the world. From Cape Town to San Francisco, I tell them about Indonesia. I tell them about the passion here. I share my ideas. Terus terang, guru Indonesia tidak kalah dengan guru di luar negeri. Hati yang murni, gairah mereka masih ada. Yang kurang adalah exposure. Exposure. So let me talk about this ecosystem. I have a limited time, so I will share some brief points. What is an ecosystem? If you pick up the Oxford Dictionary, it says an ecosystem is a complex network of systems of interacting parts. But I'm an engineer. I like to keep things simple. The more simple it is, the easier it is to understand. For me, there are three important things in a school. I call them the 3 Ps. People, place, and program. 3 elemen ini penting dan mereka perlu berinteraksi. So, this is the ecosystem. Here's a progressive school. You don't see anything, but in the school, there are students. And the student is the center. And in that school, we have 3 Ps. We have people. And to keep things simple, when I say people, I mean teachers and parents. Then we have the second P, place. And I'm referring to the design of the school. And then we have the third P, program. Means a 21st century program. Now, these 3 Ps need to be interacting, and there needs to be a feedback loop. One that keeps the 3 Ps moving. A lot of people ask me, kenapa sih Google, Apple, Marriott, Ritz-Carlton, why do these companies do well? Apa bedanya sih perusahaan-perusahaan seperti ini dengan sekolah? Very simple. Perusahaan-perusahaan seperti ini believe in feedback. They take action in feedback. Schools, I will talk about it afterwards. Every CIS school is like that. And then one school collaborates with another school that has the same system. And when some of the 3 Ps interact, teachers meet teachers, administrators meet administrators, it doesn't matter what the tuition fee is. The more they mix, the more they share, the more they learn. No school operates in isolation. Tidak ada sekolah di SIS, di ekosistem kami, yang beroperasi secara terpisah. Now let's talk about all the 3 Ps. I will take each P and I will give you 2 problems, and like an engineer, I will give you 2 solutions based on my experience. Pengalaman saya dari Indonesia bergerak di bidang pendidikan. Ini dia. When you first talk about the first P, people in the school who make a difference, you talk about teachers and you talk about parents. Let's talk about teachers. I highlight 2 problems. Today, teachers are facing a problem on technology and this understanding of tomorrow. Let me explain. Technology. The students know more about technology than the teachers. Ya kan? Mungkin anak-anak di sini lagi pikir aku lebih pintar dari guru kalau main HP kan, technology. In some schools, teachers turn on a video and they walk away. According to them, that's technology. And the other thing is understanding tomorrow. It's an unpredictable world. Can you just slow down the slides, please? It's an unpredictable world. What do you teach your children when you don't know what it is like tomorrow? Do I teach them skills? Do I teach them content? Hey, I'm a teacher, I have limited time. Help me. So I'm offering two solutions. There needs to be a mind shift. And for that, teachers need exposure. And that's why this entire IEF is talking about collaboration. When you collaborate, you have a mind shift. Internship. Teachers need information about the outside world. Tadi pagi katanya sekolah dengan industri nggak connect. Our teachers are teaching students. Look at this logic ya. Teachers are teaching students supaya mereka bisa kerja di industri. Tapi gurunya sendiri belum pernah kerja di industri. How do they know what skills do the students want? So I say one idea I have, and many of you who know me, I'm a very radical person in education. Besides sending students for internship, send the teachers for internship. If you send a teacher to Gojek, tadi pagi kan ada bos-bos Gojek, umpamanya seorang guru dikirim ke perusahaan Gojek hanya untuk 2 minggu, her mind is going to shift. So now let's talk about parents. World Bank data yang mengejutkan tentang peranan orang tua di perjalanan pendidikan anak mereka. I almost fainted when I saw this. 65% only met the principal once or maybe never. 40% katanya ketemu guru paling sekali. Dalam setahun, paling ketemu sekali. The problem in Indonesia is disconnect between parents and the school. And we all know that for a child to do well, a school must partner with parents. Tapi tunggu dulu, let's understand the problems of parents and why they are disengaged. Parents are disengaged, largely no time and lack of knowledge. No time because father and mother are working. Lack of knowledge, nggak sambung. Sekolah ngomongnya bahasa Inggris, orang tua masih nggak ngerti. Sekolah ngomong tentang pedagogi, orang tua masih nggak ngerti. Solutions. Parent education program. Parents talking to parents. This is the biggest problem. I have no solution. Di SIS juga saya tanya mereka punya solusi nggak untuk ajak parents ke sekolah. You can use technology. But what I want to say is, do not give up. Betapa susah. Jangan menyerah dalam usaha Anda untuk mengconnect orang tua dengan sekolah kamu. Let's talk about the place. Look at this picture. I want you to have a nice look. The school on the left, I was told, is more expensive than the school on the right. Clearly, the one on the right gives children more chance to collaborate, to share, and to speak. So what I'm trying to tell you is you don't need a lot of money for ideas. Banyak guru gampang bilang, oh saya tidak bisa melakukannya karena saya tidak punya budget. Saya tidak punya anggaran. Saudara sekalian, ide itu bukan datang dari anggaran. Today, you can take technology and find a lot of ideas on the internet. So, the problems in the school are all design ideas, and land is very expensive. I'm building schools. Land is very expensive. So, solutions. One, again, exposure. If your teachers can be exposed and say, oh jadi gitu caranya, oh gitu, the ideas will come. And second, I'm appealing to the Indonesian government for public-private partnership. Biar kita kerja sama-sama untuk berubah terrain Indonesia. Now let's move to the last P, the program. Kalau saya ngomong program, itu kurikulum dan activities. Kurikulum itu bukan program. You punya kurikulum, you bisa nambah activities yang lain. Today, the entire school program in many schools is about teaching, testing, teaching, testing, teaching, testing. And the second problem is a curriculum that does not understand what the industry wants. So here again, solution is looking at 21st century skills. The teachers can learn, can share, can try. Through the SIS ecosystem, we do this through collaboration. Best practices are shared. I also think, saya juga merasa, it is time for industry players to come into schools. Sudah waktunya industri masuk ke dalam bidang pendidikan. I sit on the boards of few companies, I hire people, I share my knowledge. So I think, kalau kalian punya sekolah, punya yayasan, undanglah beberapa bos-bos dari industri ikut sebagai advisor ke sekolah kalian untuk memberi idea. So here it is. The simplest form of what an ecosystem is. The 3 Ps that are interacting and schools interacting with another school. So in SIS, this is one school, this is another school, they are all the time interacting. If you want more ideas, I'm very happy to come to your school and share. Buy me a cup of coffee. Now let's talk about feedback. I told you one of the reasons Apple and Marriott, they do well because they believe in feedback. Masalah hari ini adalah guru dengan board member di yayasan alergi kepada feedback. Why? I don't know. Maybe they're afraid of their losing their jobs. Maybe they're afraid of harassed by parents. Or maybe simply they think they are better than the rest. The solution is present your feedback positively. If I ask you a feedback, if I want feedback on you, it is not because I want to fire you. I want you to improve. So in SIS, I'm very big on feedback. We have 5 kinds of feedback I can share with you. Parents give feedback on the school. Teachers give feedback on the principal. Students give feedback on the teachers. Kenapa sih dari harus hanya di universitas kita kasih feedback kepada dosen-dosen kita, di sekolah juga anak-anak kita harus kasih feedback tentang about the guru. And my employees give feedback on me, the management. And I'm the only school, I think, we have a whistleblowing policy. Whistleblowing policy. Kalau nggak ngerti maksudnya apa sih whistleblowing policy, berarti if anyone thinks there is corruption in my organization, there's a telephone number that you can call in London and there will be an investigation. Feedback. Is Indonesia ready for the right education ecosystem? Indonesia apakah sudah siap untuk cara-cara seperti begini? I know Indonesia is ready. Just look at the Indonesian millennial. Mereka tech savvy, digitally connected, and they are looking for experience seekers. They share and participate in online conversation. Jadi mereka udah mulai kolaborasi. They value quality. They value the ecosystem. And they're looking out for meaningful experiences. Are they ready? Oh, you bet they are ready. Apakah Indonesia sudah siap untuk berubah cara pikiran untuk sistem mengajar, untuk meneliti kembali tempat buat pendidikan anak-anak kita, dan peranan si pengajar di abad 21, saya rasa sudah siap. We just need to collaborate. So it's time for a new kind of thinking in the education system. To look at an ecosystem of a school with the 3 Ps, people, place, program, and get schools to work together, including public and private schools, to provide a doorway to a new way of learning. I've explained in this short time my idea of an ecosystem that works for SIS, that has given us exposure, an international award in London. Some people call it the Oscars of Educational Award. But let me ask you this question. What if there was a network of schools from Indonesia, in Indonesia, from Sumatra to Java to Bali to East Indonesia? Pertanyaan saya adalah, jika ada sebuah ekosistem yang sudah diakui di international industri lewat sebuah penghargaan yang menciptakan jaringan sekolah yang luar biasa. What if there was a network of school with a 21st century program using the best national and international curriculum, strong academics, balanced sports offering, focus on traditional sports like sepak takraw, pencak silat, badminton, and even chess. What if there's a school with a very strong music program focusing on Indonesian culture like the angklung and the gamelan and the guitar? What if there was a school with an arts program looking at batik printing, puppets, and the use of bamboo? What if there was a school where you master Bahasa Indonesia and you master English and you use digital technology, you use blended learning? What if the school believes in PACE, P-A-C-E, perseverance, analytical thinking, collaboration and communication, and entrepreneurism? A school that is project-based, where you learn about robotics, you learn about coding, where students debate, explore, succeed, fail, and remain curious, learning outside the classroom. What if there are students thinking about the environment and the earth, looking at local and global issues, looking at measurable impact, thinking like entrepreneurs? What if there was a school looking at leadership skills, lifelong learning, culture, heritage and tradition, and the values of Pancasila? What if there was a modern school which is safe and secure, where there are collaborative places, where students are developing through maker spaces? What if there was a school with teachers which I call effectors, E-F-F-E-C-T-O-R. E for earnest, F for funny. Kalau gurunya kurang lucu, you have to be funny. F for firm, E for enthusiastic, C for consistent, T for being timely, O for being open-minded, and R for researcher. What if that school believes in parent engagement, professional development, and teachers behave like mentors? Where the school with learning communities. What if that school only hires best teachers and they collaborate internationally with high governance standards and best practice? What if the school believes in feedback, offers thought leadership, international conferences sharing, public-private partnership? What if the school has a financial strength to build 20 schools across Indonesia, working with the industry, working with top universities, working with alumni? What if the school makes students ready for the world? What if there's an organization with an internationally recognized ecosystem ready to build 20 schools across Indonesia and more? And those schools are fair because they give chance to a lot of Indonesians and they're affordable. What if the school works with you, the government, to transform Indonesia? What if there's a school of the future today? Ladies and gentlemen, the journey has begun. This is my new initiative, Inspirasi Schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaspal. I think you have a great vision. I think you have a great insight, but most importantly, great passion and a great emotion for education and for improving education and for giving young Indonesians an opportunity. And we have a room full of young Indonesians today. We'll have a quick question and answer session. We'll welcome questions from the floor. But maybe we can start, you've outlined some of the key paradigms of a modern education system. And maybe we can, come closer, don't worry, I won't bite. What do you think are the key challenges facing Indonesia's education system at the moment?
Let me just talk generally first, and then I'll talk about Indonesia. In any country, or in many countries, there are three things currently that are giving people a lot of headaches. One, the government view of education. Is the government and the people in the government, are they thinkers? Are they looking at new ideas? Karena kan government set the pace. That's one. Number two, teachers. Are the teachers ready for a different kind of thinking? And the third challenge is technology. And I will share my views. The government of Indonesia. I've been here 30 years. I have never seen a more forward-thinking government here pushing education. We saw today Pak Ananto, a government bureaucrat coming up here and showing us statistics to say this is the problem in Indonesia. Kan mana ada orang begitu yang mengaku bahwa dapurnya ada masalah. These are the wonderful people working in this country, and these are the people that will change. So Indonesia in a very good position. Teachers, I think we have a major issue in teacher training. Maaf ya kalau saya ngomong ceplos-ceplosan aja ya, nggak apa-apa kan. Current teacher training, I have seen.
Yang nggak ngomong.
Book a hotel, 40 teachers, sit at the back. Depan ada lecturer. Ya, bawalah si bule itu, let him speak. Or some foreigner. And the teachers at the back playing with the handphone, drinking with the coffee, drinking coffee. Teacher training must change. Indonesians are one of the best creators. Let them see. To me, the best way to train teachers is to send the teachers to schools and say, this is a private school, coba lihat mereka gimana, dapat ide. Saya rasa guru sekarang nggak perlu lecture lagi, nggak perlu dikasih pidato, cukup deh. Now is the time to show. And technology is very complicated. If you have a PowerPoint, if you have a projector and you play and you say, wah kita punya teknologi, lihat nih ada projector. That's not technology, ladies and gentlemen. That is only a projector. There is so much out there that teachers can use and to teach the kids. Pak Shoeb mentioned, some people say, I see education. Students now want to see, don't want to listen anymore. And I know the young people, mereka nggak punya kesabaran. 6 minit, 5 menit video, ganti. Ya kan? YouTube. After 3 minutes, ganti gimana, mau suruh dia dengar guru 30 menit, bla 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 kan? So the teacher must understand how she can use technology. So I think these are the three challenges. And I see a lot of wonderful schools in Indonesia. I think teacher training should change. I'm very happy if you're a school out there and you want to send your teachers to SIS, very happy to share. We need to collaborate.
Thank you. Just a carry-on point on your comments. Would you encourage teachers to make short videos of what they are teaching and use those videos?
Okay. do I encourage teachers to make short videos? So sometime back in SIS, we wanted to try this experiment. Put a CCTV camera in the class. Guru nggak mau. They don't want to be monitored. So we removed it. It was an experiment. I disagree. I don't think I should put CCTV cameras in the class. So what does that mean? Some teachers are comfortable, some are not. If you are confident, make a video. If I was a teacher today, and I'm a confident person, I will make a video, terus I will kirim the video to my students. Aku kirim WhatsApp, malam ini nonton lagi dong. Kalau nggak ngerti, nonton lagi, nonton lagi, nonton lagi. The more they see, the more they understand. But some teachers can do it. Would I encourage? Yeah. How would I help them? Training again.
Yeah, thank you very much. Are there any questions from the floor? Ada pertanyaan dari guru-guru, dari murid? Ini kesempatan bagus untuk bertanya Pak Jaspal.
Nggak apa-apa, bahasa Indonesia juga nggak apa-apa.
Ya,
kalau,
bahasa Indonesia juga
kalau
oke sih.
kurang lancar, ya maklumlah orang asing di sini.
Any questions?
We have a question
Oh
here.
yes. Ada mic-nya, tolong. Mic.
Cuman saya? Okay, in English. Thanks, Jasper. Oliver Anderson from Ask Consulting. Absolutely compelling, super narrative. I think everyone in the room and beyond agrees that with it in principle. It's fantastic, and if you can operationalize it, all the best. It will really develop human and social capital in this country. However, to be as impactful as you say, at that price point, meaning you need volume, and you're going to require volume in terms of teachers to hit that kind of scale, which is an inherent problem nationally. At that price point, you probably won't be able to compete in terms of salary. So how are you going to attract, retrain, sustain, and develop the teacher workforce within those schools to really achieve that target of 20 schools?
Yes, okay. Pertanyaannya ya, interesting. Katanya, I'm going to reduce the price of schooling for inspirasi. How am I going to train the teachers, find the right teachers, and what about the volume? Look, when you do a school, kan kita nggak mau, we don't want to run a school that's loss-making. Now parents, they want technology, they want swimming pool, they want ini, itu uangnya datang dari mana? Ya kan? Dari iuran sekolah dong. Now, but I want to make it cheaper. So that means the student-teacher ratio have to increase. Umpamanya, in one class, in international school, one teacher with 20 students. In Inspirasi, we will look at 1 to 25, 1 to 30. We will use technology. Now the question is, where am I going to find the teacher? I'm going to build 20 schools in the next 10 years. Kalau satu sekolah 1.500 murid, dengan student-teacher ratio anggaplah 1 sampai 10, berarti I need 150 teachers, kasih 10, kali 10, 1.500. Where am I going to get the teachers? I have gone to universities in Indonesia, Unsri. I am surprised to find out that there are some very good teachers. Very good. I am prepared for these teachers, while they are studying, to come to us for internship. Kalau dikasih internship, and they are good, I will hire them. So, it is like the law firm. Kan lawyer-lawyer di Singapore, mereka cari lawyer. Very hard to find lawyer. What do? They hire before you graduate. Di universitas sudah di-hire. So, I will go into the university, apa Surabaya kayak, Palembang kayak, work with them. And I also plan to run teacher enrichment program di universitasnya sendiri. So before they graduate, they go through our enrichment program. And then we will hire them. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Great question. Any other questions? Mana ya? Satu.
I always enjoy this when people ask.
No, di situ, di kanan. Can you stand up, Sheila, so he can see you?
Thanks, Jaspal. Just a quick one. I see it as a shift of teachers being educators to edu-creators, right? So they're actually inspiring both themselves, their peers, and the students to really start thinking about how to develop and create things. Now, I think going to your point about a shift in mindset, that actually requires a shift in culture as well. What does it take to actually shift culture, and how long do you think that will take?
Okay, that's a good question ya. Kemarin juga saya ngomong begini. Saya di Indonesia udah lama 30 tahun ya. Masalah di sini adalah kurang pede. The culture of Indonesians are kurang pede. And I ask myself why. Pede is percaya diri. Lack of confidence to speak. Why? One, culture. It's a culture of respect. One reason. Number two, bahasanya. A lot of Indonesians feel, karena bahasa Inggris saya itu kurang begini, I better don't talk. Go to United Nations. The guy from Africa is speaking in his own language and defending his country. I'm saying to you, if you are a confident person, use bahasa Indonesia. That the problem starts with the thinking that I need to express in a foreign language. If you ask me, if I hire, do I want someone who speaks perfect English and hesitate to speak, or do I want someone to speak, but speak in Bahasa Indonesia? I will take that one. So what I'm trying to tell you is the mind shift and exposure. And here's another thing I always tell people. You look at anak-anak Kemlu. Anak-anak Kemlu. See how confident they are. Why? Because they have been exposed. They have been posted. They have seen culture. And they are confident. So the answer, Kemlu is Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I see them, they are young people, they are confident. The more you mix, the more you share, you will get a mind shift. The question is, how do we mix? Kan ini sekolah Indonesia. Everyone has the same culture. How do we mix? I think the private schools need to open their doors. I am prepared to open my doors. Send your teachers to us. We will mix with you. And we want you to teach us your culture as well. So, mind shift change.
Thank you. Great question and great answer. Yes. Tolong mic-nya. Can you please stand and also introduce yourself? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. May I speak in Bahasa Indonesia? May I speak in Bahasa Indonesia?
Ya, tolong. Ya,
Monggo.
silakan.
Oke, nama saya Indah dari Sekolah Paradisa Cendekia di Cibubur. Alhamdulillah saya baru memulai sekolah saya baru 3 tahun ini. Murid saya yang SD itu baru 78 siswa, tapi Senin depan insya Allah kami akan autorisasi IB. Jadi ya alhamdulillah saya memilih PYP itu di waktu murid kami baru 12 orang. Karena saya percaya bahwa learner profile-nya dibutuhkan, skills-nya itu dibutuhkan untuk anak-anak untuk bisa menghadapi masa depan. Tapi masalahnya adalah pastinya high cost dan tentunya hanya orang-orang yang mohon maaf mampu membayar tinggi yang bisa sekolah di situ. Kemarin saya hanya buka sekitar less than 40 students untuk tahun ajaran depan dan alhamdulillah di bulan September kemarin untuk tahun ajaran depan kami sudah sold out gitu. Karena begitu banyak yang mau. Tapi di sisi lain saya begitu sedih karena banyak orang tua yang mau juga dan mungkin berharap saya bisa membuka lebih banyak sekolah lagi. pastinya dengan harga yang lebih terjangkau gitu. Apakah Bapak punya tips untuk saya bisa membuat satu komunitas sekolah yang baik, tapi juga ya seperti yang Bapak sedang buat saat ini, yaitu ya sangat efektif biayanya. Seperti itu supaya bisa memberikan pelayanan lebih banyak lagi untuk semua orang tua murid di sekitar.
Enggak, saya rasa pertanyaan cukup bagus ya. So pertanyaannya, kalau ibu kan sudah punya sekolah,
Yes.
terus banyak lagi pengen ibu buka sekolah yang lain tapi yang nggak mampu.
Ya.
Itu sistem kan kita punya tadi sekian, terus dibagi dua. Nah bagi dua itu jangan sembarangan bagi dua, tapi create ecosystem. Jadi umpamanya sekolah guru ini sekian, iuran sekolahnya sekian, tapi banyak yang pengen ibu buka sekolah yang different pricing ya. Bagi dua, of course infrastruktur penting ya, tanah dan itu kita hitungnya lain ya. Tapi kalau udah bagi dua, P&L, profit and loss sekolahnya, kan harus dihitung kan, masa you mau sekolahnya bangkrut, nggak bisa bayar guru kan. Jadi 60% of your cost adalah guru, ya kan?
Yes, definitely.
Betul. Jadi kalau iuran sekolahnya diturun, berarti gaji guru juga harus cari yang cocok lah dengan sekolah begitu kan. Nah ini yang masalahnya, menurut pikiran orang, semakin murah dibayar ke guru itu semakin jelek gurunya. Wrong. Tak mungkin. It has nothing to do with money. What you need to do, find the right pricing and you create your own ecosystem. I will be very happy to sit with you. Biar guru-guru ini bisa berkolaborasi dengan sekolah-sekolah yang ada di situ. Nah sistemnya cukup perlu waktu, enggak begitu kompleks, tapi perlu leadership di school yang akan ikut dengan sama pikiran seperti begitu. A lot of the school has to do with leadership ya. You get the wrong leadership, you are going to be in a big issue. Even in SIS, I have my own ecosystem. Tomorrow, if I change a leadership, habis culture-nya juga rubah. So it has to do with good leadership. And it takes some time.
Okay,
Yes,
terima
sir.
kasih.
Thank you so
Probably
much.
our last question, yeah. Can you please stand up and also introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Doreen. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, USA. Thank you for this opportunity. I like your thinking about simplifying things. Your background is in engineering. I'm also in electrical engineering and also in business. Here's my question. In the end, it's about demand and supply, right? The school is the supplier. You supply people, the workforce. The industry is the demand, not to oversimplify things. My question is, what is from the demand side? What is the profile of your ideal workforce that would meet the demand of the future?
Look, I can only speak as someone who hires people on companies, right? This morning, the Gojek, Grab. What was his name? Yang bosnya Grab lah. You know what he said? He's hiring people with all kinds of profile. He's hiring engineers. He's hiring social sciences. He's hiring people with marketing, with art degrees. So I'm telling you that the profile of hiring now is hard. In fact, it has shifted. I met the head of admissions in NUS, Singapore. My time to get into engineering was very difficult. Do you know what faculty in NUS is very difficult to go in? Social sciences. So, look at the social sciences profile. It's about people who can think, who can express, who can write, who can socialize, who can collaborate. I'm not saying engineers cannot, but it's a very different kind of, when you talk about literature, you got to analyze, you got to think. So there's a shift in that movement. Now, I'm not saying that this is the way to go. I'm saying in your schools, don't make drastic changes because it's going to go upside down. just look at soft skills. And the best way to do it is through projects. When you put 3 kids together, they are going to learn a lot of things. So my answer to you is, your question was, what's the profile that you need for the workforce? The profile in the workforce today are thinkers, creators, collaborators. Why? Because even the workforce doesn't know what's going to happen to them in about 10 years' time. Right? I met some Indonesian students, saya pikir ini mau kemana nih, ke universitas. Setelah itu, gimana? Oh, paling gampang. Saya mau ke US, ke universitas ini, universitas itu, tapi I no need to work hard, katanya. Kenapa? Bapak saya punya perusahaan. When I come back, I look after. I said, Mas, itu perusahaan itu dalam 10 tahun belum tentu ada. You better have those skills to save your father's business. So be very careful. If you think you're going to look after your father's business, you'll probably ruin your father's business. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think that was a very, very good session, Jaspal, and thank you very much from the audience too for participating in this discussion. To close, maybe you can sum up some thoughts that you may have, but I would just like to say that, in this fast-changing world, change is the only constant. So you got to have a mindset to be able to change and adapt. Jaspal.
Okay, thank you. When I look around, I see teachers and students. I have this to share with you. To all the young people, this is your time. Do not lose this time. Indonesia has the youngest population in the region. You have 2 choices. You can just ignore and say, I'm not going to change, or you can say, I need the skills for the future. And I said, in all the skills, I put it very simple. PACE, P-A-C-E, perseverance. Do not give up. To the young people, do not give up. Try and try again. A, be thinkers. Analytical thinking. C, collaboration and communication. PD dong, personal branding. E, entrepreneurism. Think like an entrepreneur. And believe me, you will succeed. To the teachers, I say to you, you have quite a difficult task. I sympathize with you. You have a principal who may be thinking differently. You may have a yayasan who thinks differently. But remember, you have 30 kids, 25 kids, 40 kids that you are looking after. Their future is in your hands. God bless all of you. And jika ada 1-2 kata yang kurang pas atau kurang cocok, maklum orang asing. Terima kasih. Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Mr. Jaspal, can you hold and stay on the stage? Yes. Token of appreciation will be given for you.
We call upon Mr. Shoeb to give the token of appreciation to Mr. Jaspal.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jaspal Sidhu, for your information yet interesting topic called Creating the Right Education Ecosystem. Once again, please give him applause.
The question and answer session delivered by Mr. Shoeb and Mr. Jaspal has helped us understand the education system on a greater depth and such challenges Indonesia may face in the education shifts of Indonesia. Teman-teman di sini masih semangat ya? Masih semangat nggak?
Edlin, kayaknya ini kurang kenceng, harus disemangatin lagi ya?
Oke, masih semangat semua?
Masih semangat semua? Oke, bagus.
Okay, moving on to our next panel discussion upon education, we will invite a speaker with great depth of expertise in the education field of Indonesia. This panel discussion is very close to us. Building digital classroom, each one of us here has once become a student and sat in a classroom eager to learn. But what if the delivery of education shifts with the collaboration of technological advancement? The question wonders to what greater impact such innovation bring to the classroom. Without further ado, we would like to call our moderator, Mr. Sashen Gopalan, co-founder Indonesia's Education Forum, to come on stage. Sir, the floor is yours.
Oke, selamat siang. Tadi teman-teman saya yang MC yang hebat itu bilang mereka kalian masih semangat karena ini penting sekali buat Anda yang suka gadget-gadget digital ya. Karena kami mau bicara sekarang tentang classroom digital dan apa yang akan datang ke semua classroom dengan waktu yang dekat. So, saya mau undang speaker-speaker yang ada di panel yang sangat menarik. Saya juga pakai bahasa campur sedikit ya, bahasa English. I'm going to use a little bit English and a little bit of bahasa Indonesia. So I'd like to welcome Pak Gogot Suarwoto. Pak Gogot is the head of Pustekom and he's one of the visionary leaders in education in the Ministry of Education and Culture. Silakan Pak Gogot. I'd like to invite Pak Hasan Habibie. Pak Hasan Habibie is the head of Rumah Belajar. Mungkin di sini ada yang tahu Rumah Belajar? Yeah, so Pak Hasan, please come on to the stage, Pak. Thank you, Bapak. Silakan, Pak. Yeah. Next, I would like to call Matt Bacon. Welcome to Indonesia, Matt, and welcome to the stage. Please take a seat. You could be here, right here. Thank you. Dr. Rizal is Dr. Iskandar Rizal Hamza. He is the head of Schoology. He is the CEO of Schoology Asia. Welcome to the stage, please. You could take the far left one, please. And last but not the least, Mr. Wu Guangliu from Higher Education. Please welcome Mr. Wu onto the stage. Mr. Wu is from Higher, itu adalah perusahaan yang terbesar yang bikin electronics untuk pendidikan dan lain, oke? Terima kasih. Oke, mungkin kita mulai dengan ada presentasi sedikit dari Bapak Gogot. Tapi Anda juga ingat ya, show ini lagi diliput live streaming di TV Edukasi yang bisa dilihat di mana-mana di seluruh Indonesia. This show is being live streamed and recorded, and it's on TV Edukasi, which is across the country. It's also on YouTube. So this will be not only visible now, but also will be available over the next several months, and it will be content available online. Okay? So thank you very much. I think Pak Gogot, I would like you to open with a presentation to give some background of what has the ministry been doing so far for digital classrooms, Pak. Silakan, Pak. I think there's a presentation, ada presentasi Pak Gogot.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Gogot, G-O-G-O-T. I'm the head of ICT Center for Education and Culture, the Ministry of Education and Culture. It's a very interesting seminar, and I'm very happy to be here, and it is an honor also for us being involved for the first time at the Habibie Festival, especially in the Indonesian Education Forum. So next slide, please. Next. Next again. Actually, this topics has been discussed everywhere. If you discuss about technology in education, this issue has been going on for a while, at least in 2016. Basically, last thing that I want to say for this issue is we have to prepare our students that are seeking the job that are not exist at this time. So next please. So I'd like to share with you, this is the study, the research, and the compilation of the idea if we, in Indonesia, to be the 5th highest country in the world, we have, just like Pak Jaspal mentioned, we have opportunity, we have potential, but we have also big challenges. So what are the requirements? This is the summary from different resources. Basically, the third, if I want to summarize the third top one, basically the human capital, the technological readiness, and the infrastructure become the keys of the potential can be managed. Then Indonesia can be the 5th biggest country in the world in 2045. So I'd like to share with you what we have done in the Ministry of Education and Culture. And thank you again, Pak Jaspal. It was very inspiring for us. And I'm very happy that we have a lot of in common about how we view our education in Indonesia. Next. So, when we talk about Industrial Revolution 4.0, then we have to shift our education to Education 4.0. I'm not going to discuss the big thing, but just the simple thing. My background is mathematics, so just make it simple. In education, we all know very well about 4 things: teachers, students, schools, and then the curriculum. Of course, there is something else behind this, but just the easy way to say is this. So what is Education 4.0? Basically, the education that can prepare our students that they can live where they have to look for a job, where they have to work, we have to live with their people. Basically, we have to prepare for them. Next. So, this is the research. It's been a while actually. But when our students being asked what they're going to change in their classroom, they will say, I want to see more technology being used in the classroom. But in contrary, next please, we have the requirement for the teachers. Basically, in 2007, our government already mentioned in our ministerial regulation that the requirement to be a teacher, to be a professional teacher. 4 competencies: pedagogical, professional, social, and personal. So the pedagogical things that the teacher must actually able to integrate technology in their teaching. In terms of their professionalism, they have to also know how to use technology for their career. So this has been a while, basically, we put there. Next, but our recent survey, so we adopted the UNESCO ICT Competency Teachers Framework. We have 4 teachers level of competency of teachers. So the first one is ICT literacy, second one is knowledge deepening, knowledge creation, and then knowledge sharing, the top one. What we have found out, we have surveyed 28,000 our teachers. So how many are they that are in the first level? We have it 46%. In the second level, we have it about 16%. This is in 2019, it's just recently. So what it means that very few of our teachers, just like the speaker earlier mentioned, the competencies need to be increased. We have to work hard on this competency. So next please. In terms of curriculum, we have just issued, in 2018, our minister issued the new curriculum, what we call it Informatika. It's not about teaching how to use technology, but technology in a more complex way. Basically, we have computer engineering, computer networking, data analysis, algorithm, and social impact of information. These 5 things being comprised to be one subject matter. This is new subject matter, but only being implemented this year, 2019, in 1,800 schools. Out of, we have 250,000 schools. So it's been, we have to need work harder again for this coming year. Next, please. And a simple way to see our schools, we have input, process, output, outcomes. We have to integrate technology along the way. So in the input, like PPDB, like intakes student, we have PPDB online. Then in the process, we have provided our student with Rumah Belajar. This is the Pak Hassan is here. We'll discuss with you about Rumah Belajar. And then we have outputting using UNBK, basically CAT national examination. Has been 92% of our students in high school and vocational school, they are taking national examination through a computer assisted test, CAT. And the last part on the outcome thing, we have a report, a portfolio basically, e-report we call it. Next. Again, so this is what's going on, and this is a number of our students who are taking national examination through computer. So 8.1 million of our students are already taking national examination through a computer assisted test. I just visited Australia, that's why I met Pak Ahmad. I visited Akara in Australia. They will do the CAT test starting next year for 50% of their school. 50% means 15,000. We already implemented in 76,000 schools. So what's our modality? We just have a very big commitment, you know? Just like Pak just mentioned, we are very committed. So we can do it in this year. National examination participated by 8.1 million of our students. Next. This is a report. We have also application given to the school, and they can enter their scoring and their evaluation. So we can have a report, then begin taken by the university to select the student to go to the university. Next. So to open this discussion, if I summarize the issue, one is the competency teachers. You know, only 40 to 46% our teachers are ICT literate. So this is based on 28,000 teachers that we surveyed. And then the limited numbers of technology mastered by teachers. So if you ask teachers, not more than 3 kind of technology they can acquainted, they can master. So it's very little. And then because of this, like lack of competency, lack of technology being mastered, so we are having a very lack of content that being uploaded by the teachers. And as we know, geographical condition have caused teachers disparities in using technology. So Rumah Belajar become one of the solutions that the government offer to give the solution. So next. Next, please. So this is one Rumah Belajar from our office. We have working, and Pak Hassan will discuss next about what is Rumah Belajar in detail. Next. Next. And we have trained our teachers, 250,000 this year, through blended learning using this application. Next. So this is the portal. You can visit. Next. Again, this is the last slide. Just Pak Ananto already mentioned this morning that our government has released ministerial regulation on digitalizing Indonesian school. So we have provided 1.7 million tablets to 36,000 schools this year in order to access our portal that's being provided by Postecom, which is Rumah Belajar. Next. And it's being launched. Next, please. In Natuna. So 1,142 tablets being distributed just last month. Next. And this is the training to the teachers to be prepared to use this Rumah Belajar. Next. And this is in the remote area. Next. There's a number of schools that being assisted with the technology and internet access by collaboration with Ministry of Communication. Next. So, in conclusion, I would like to say that yes, we have 2 problems. Teachers first, and then infrastructure. But giving infrastructure, training teachers with the new technology is going to take time. So what we have provided is basically the bridging bridging tools to bridge between student and teachers, between technology and teachers through the portal, to the website, to the application that we have provided, which is Rumah Belajar. We are very welcome to any kind of application that can be developed to help our teachers to teach with technology, because just the data presented is very difficult. I mean, it takes time to teach them how to create the content. So if I put the similitude of this idea, basically, if we bring teachers to the tea garden and we ask them to make the tea, it's going to take time just to pick which the right leaves for making the tea. It's going to take time. But we are doing here is basically to provide instant tea, So we can ask teachers just boil the water and put this instant tea. They can serve the tea to their children. So this is the idea of providing the portal for the teachers and the students. I think this is what I can say to open the discussion, and hopefully discussion can be fruitful, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Gogot. I think you have given a very, very good overview of what you are planning for the next 5 years. And it's very interesting for us to know, because, this is an important part of the infrastructure that's being built, and the services you're providing is very, very comprehensive part. But I want to start the discussion first, because I know Hassan here has also got a presentation to tell you what's inside the Rumah Belajar, but we'll get to that part. I want to get a discussion started first. So I want people to be a little curious also, what's inside Rumah Belajar. Yeah. So I want to ask the first question to you, Gogot, because, the plan is good. However, I think you are at the beginning of a very big task. So what do you see are the challenges, and how do you think, what are the challenges that you feel that maybe other partners can help you with, or maybe other companies can come together with what they can offer to help you in realizing this big plan? What are the challenges you want to address?
I think the challenges, we all know it very well, is preparing teachers to use this technology and helping students understanding the subject that is being taught. It's not for the sake of technology and then just use technology for any means, but to make sure that the teacher use this technology to deepen the knowledge, to broaden the views, and to make it understanding better about the subject.
Okay. So that means actually the human skills part is very important. So training the teachers to effectively use this, maybe they need just not the infrastructure, but they need maybe some programs, maybe they need some training efforts, and it will slowly improve as you go along. So that is something you're already doing? Are you already, how are you addressing the training of teachers?
For this issue, we have prepared our special program, what we call it simpatik.
Okay.
We call it a pembatik. Pembatik is pemanfaatan bahan ajar TIK. So we have prepared 1,000 teachers in every provinces. So they are ready to teach in every schools that are now being provided with the tablet and the computer. Okay. So we have trained about 1,000 teachers. Now they are ready to help.
Okay, thank you, Gogot. We also have here, a very interesting discussion that can add some perspectives from overseas. So Matt, thank you for being here. Matt is actually running, he's a project director, project manager in the University of Canberra, and he has been working on this project called ELSA. So I won't tell you what it is. I think I will ask Matt to give a brief description. What is it we doing, and how does he feel is relevant to Indonesia?
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to come and share with you today. So, yes, I'm from the University of Canberra, and we have a research project called ELSA, which stands for Early Learning STEM Australia. And it's a play-based digital program to introduce STEM concepts into the early years schooling. So that's in the 4-year-old bracket for us.
How young do you start?
4 years old.
Okay, so it's a very early learning STEM program.
Yeah. So, and our main concern here is that some relevancy here, I guess, about digital classrooms and teacher training is, the effective use of technology, not just using technology because we have it, but also understanding the pedagogy that goes behind that and the teacher training. So we're interested in building frameworks that allow for, especially in the early years, maintaining a play-based education, but makes use of technology in its best forms.
So have you had any interesting experiences, because your age group is very young? Are there something you would like to share about what happened there, and we can use that to see what will happen in Indonesia?
Yeah, so we have about 4,000 children in the ELSA pilot. It's a pilot program at the moment that's spread across the country of Australia. We have about 112 early learning centres, ranging in demographics from the city to regional to remote. And what we're finding is that we worked very hard on developing a framework that allowed the technology to be 1/3 of our program, because we thought it was very important to allow the teachers to still maintain their capacity to teach in a human-centred way. And so far, what we've found is that our teachers are feeding back to us that they themselves are feeling more confident in STEM concepts and are able to teach their students much more effectively because of the training we're giving them and the way that we've written the program and implemented it.
Okay, so I'm going to come back to you, because we have Dr. Rizal here from Schoology, and I think Matt focuses a lot on STEM-based learning, but I think Schoology has got a lot of other content, not just STEM-based, right? So would you like to just touch upon what has been your experience in developing content which could go into digital classrooms?
Right, I think Schoology, the platform that we have, is a platform that approaches learning in a different way. So here is, we know that in a classroom, teachers use a multitude of tools, of applications. And what we try to do in Schoology is to bring these tools together in one place. So it could be STEM tools, it could be arts tools, it could be music, it could be public service messages, it could be all those things. And our aim is to make sure that we bring this content together in a coherent way that makes sense to students. So here we try to combine the content along with the general approaches of teaching that make sense in a future digital classroom. So we've got the technology components of these things, but we feel a future digital classroom or a classroom of the future should really be one that is not limited to the four walls and the roof of a class. It should be technology that aims to bring the students to the outside world. For example, right now you've got Google Classroom cardboards that brings students to the outside world, but it also allows the outside world to come into the classroom. So this is where you've got students going around and making anywhere your classroom really. So it's those technologies that we work well together to create this coherent picture for kids. In addition to this, we also would like to look at other parts of making this make sense to kids for the future. And here we look at available technologies that surround. You've got mobile technologies, you've got AI, you've got AR, and at Schoology we try to bring all these things together to make it easy for students.
So you actually have content which is in many countries. How many countries is Schoology in right now?
We're in over 100 countries.
100 countries.
Yes.
So do you see a difference in the way the content is treated, let's say in the Western countries versus the Asian countries? Is there any customization, or how does it work?
I think it depends on teachers. Depends on the approach that teachers take. In certain countries, teachers are more prepared in the pedagogy side of things. So they're more prepared in how they want to do things, and it's more structured. But in other countries, you've got teachers who are very good as well. But it's a question of the technology not driving how they do things, but the technology following and accommodating how teachers best teach. There are a lot of cultural differences, and I think what we try and do is to respect those differences and to make sure that we address them in a way that makes sense to the students in these different countries.
Okay, so that's a little bit on the programs, a little bit on the software that goes into a digital classroom, and another piece is the hardware. So I think we have Mr. Wu here from Hire, and Mr. Wu, would you like to share a little bit about what has been your experience about fitting out digital classrooms? I think you've worked on many projects, because I remember looking at your profile, and you have worked on a one-child, one-tablet project in Thailand, then you worked in... So could you tell a few about those kind of programs already done in other countries, which has been implemented? Maybe share a little bit about your experience.
Thank you. So we have do the project like the one child, one tablet in Thailand, in Bangladesh, Philippines, Malaysia, also in China. So at the first, we first launched our digital smart classroom in 2008 in Macedonia, a European country. So after that, we get very good feedback about this kind of the classroom. So teacher and student can very good interactive. So we study with some government Ministry of Education and education institution to see how to make the education more effective. And then based on the technology, we cooperate with Intel to develop some hardwares based on the hardware of the classroom. So the classroom is hardware, software, and the network together. So this is what we are pushing now.
So does it really work? Like you have a nationwide project, one child, how many years does it take to do something like this? Is it like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? What is the real experience?
Yes, depends on the project. Generally, we use 1 year to finish out the country's classrooms launching, because we can use local production to shout the delivery.
Oh, you do local production, so it's faster.
Yes. So this is our advantage. So we can help the local partner to establish the product line, achieve the made in Thailand, made in Pakistan, or made in Indonesia. So like this.
Okay. So it's good to have some sharing of experience of what's been done. But I think, Pak Gogot, I want to come back to you. There has been a lot of interesting news that Indonesia is now really getting ready. You're actually equipping your digital classrooms. Can you share with the audience the size and scale of your plans? What you're doing this year, next year? What is the vision? Because I think, in my opinion, it's a fantastic program. What you have, because Indonesia being the third largest, fourth largest education system in the world, you're talking about huge size and scale. And that's a very exciting project to be, I must congratulate you. Beautiful project to be running, because that's a legacy you will leave, Pa. So can you please share a little bit about that?
Thank you, Pak Sachin. For the 2020, basically next year, we have prepared 3 things actually. One is just the continuation of what we have done this year, preparing 7 million tablets.
7 million tablets
for 62,000 schools.
62,000 schools.
Yeah, so in this last year and this year, gonna be like 100,000 schools. Yeah. Out of 300 schools, basically, we have still 200,000 left. So hopefully in 5 years, so all schools will have tablet, to access our portal, basically. And the second thing is the connection. So for the big city, let's say like Jakarta, Jawa, basically, and a big city of Kalimantan, Sumatra, it's okay. But for the small island, we have been working with the Ministry of Communication. We have already provide access and infrastructure for them, but we still have about 16,000 of them. School in remote area, it's very difficult part. Yeah. Basically, no company will be interested to invest, their communication investment. So we have to do some affirmation work on it. Yeah. And the third one is training teachers. So hopefully, we will train all the teachers, 3 million of them, how to use technology to integrate it in their classroom.
The impact of this is tremendous, because I've been to international schools who still do not have a digital classroom. So, you're talking about government schools and local schools in remote areas being digital ready. That's going to make a very big impact. So I think we are really looking forward to that project. And I think that sets up the reason to ask Pak Hasan Habibie to tell us what's in Rumah Belajar. So Pak, can you please share us, because I think Rumah Belajar is an important program which is the means to make use of all this infrastructure that you're setting up. Can you please share with us Pak about that?
Oke, baik, terima kasih. Saya bahasa Indonesia aja.
Boleh Pak, bahasa Indonesia.
Yang pertama, ada satu filosofi yang kami ambil terkait rumah belajar ini. Didiklah anak sesuai dengan zamannya, karena nanti kita tidak akan hidup dengan zaman mereka nanti. Ini filosofi pertama yang kami ambil.
Yes.
Kita ini akan selesai 30 tahun lagi. Anak-anak kita akan hidup 30 tahun lagi. Tugas guru yang paling berat adalah menerka zaman sehingga kemudian mereka bisa memproyeksi realitas yang dihadapi murid-muridnya kelak. Itu yang menjadi filosofi awal di mana kemudian rumah belajar itu berdiri. Plus kemarin Pak Jokowi baru saja meresmikan proyek Palapa di mana hampir mengcover semua internet yang ada di seluruh Indonesia. Ini sekaligus menjawab pertanyaan itu, setelah kemudian akses itu ada, apa yang bisa dilakukan oleh anak-anak kita? Mereka bisa mengakses konten, mereka kemudian bisa menggunakan learning management system, mereka bisa melihat video pembelajaran, sehingga akses yang kemudian diberikan oleh pemerintah via Palapa Ring itu benar-benar bisa dimaksimalkan untuk menyambut bonus demografi tahun 2045 yang akan datang. Tentunya dengan persiapan-persiapan konten yang memadai. Nah, di rumah belajar ini sendiri kita memiliki beberapa fitur yang bisa diakses. Yang pertama jelas sumber belajar. Ini sesuatu yang mutlak dan related dengan kurikulum 2013 yang lagi kita bangun dan terus kita kemudian maksimalkan di lapangan. Hari ini guru-guru kita harus fair, kita akui, mayoritas masih menggunakan textbook pada saat mereka mengajar di kelas. Sedikit sekali yang kemudian menggunakan media-media alternatif dan tambahan, sehingga kemudian proses belajar mengajarnya lebih maksimal. Dengan keberadaan sumber belajar ini, kami harap para bapak ibu guru yang ada di sekolah, yang mendidik murid-muridnya, mereka bisa mengantarkan mata pelajaran dengan baik, plus memberikan visualisasi yang maksimal, sehingga pemahaman peserta didik terhadap konten yang diberikan itu diharapkan lebih baik. Itu yang pertama. Terus yang kemudian yang kedua, kita punya kelas online atau kelas maya. Guru yang ada di Papua bisa mengajar murid-murid yang ada di Jakarta. Sengaja saya balik. Orang selalu berpikir murid di Papua harus belajar kepada guru-guru yang ada di Jakarta. Guru-guru yang ada di Papua, di Ternate, di Maluku, di Aceh, mereka itu guru-guru luar biasa. Tanpa teknologi aja mereka bisa hidup. Mereka apalagi diberikan tambahan sedikit teknologi, mereka akan tunggangi itu teknologi, mereka terjang itu badai, anak-anak itu lebih maksimal. Sehingga anak-anak di Jakarta bisa bicara atau belajar kearifan lokal terhadap guru-guru dari Papua. Anak-anak dari Surabaya bisa belajar kearifan lokal terhadap guru-guru yang ada di Makassar dan sebaliknya. Dan itu dilakukan lewat kelas maya. Yang ketiga, kita punya bank soal. Lebih dari 40.000 soal sudah kita upload di konten rumah belajar. Lebih dari 40.000 soal. Anak-anak bisa menggunakan itu sebagai sarana latihan setiap hari untuk menambah pemahaman terhadap kualitas materi yang sudah mereka pelajari sebelumnya. Kemudian yang selanjutnya kita juga memiliki peta budaya dari semua provinsi dari seluruh Indonesia. Dari Aceh sampai Papua, dari Sabang sampai Merauke, semua konten terkait kebudayaan mulai dari masakan tradisional, pakaian tradisional, musik, semuanya sudah kita upload di portal belajar, sehingga anak-anak memungkinkan untuk kemudian menggunakan itu sebagai sebuah referensi. Nah, kita memiliki juga di antara fitur-fitur yang lain terkait menggunakan, ini yang menurut saya agak paling menarik di rumah belajar, terkait laboratorium virtual. Kita tahu persis yang namanya laboratorium itu harganya sangat mahal. Kalau satu sekolah bisa belanjakan ratusan juta, satu sekolah bisa belanjakan ratusan juta untuk beli laboratorium, tidak semua sekolah mampu beli itu. Sementara salah satu proses yang wajib ada dalam dunia belajar mengajar adalah perasaan terlibat dalam materi yang disampaikan. Dalam piramida pembelajaran kita tahu persis pokok tertinggi dalam proses belajar mengajar adalah keterlibatan siswa, keterlibatan guru menjadi satu kesatuan di materi yang dia sampaikan. Kalau kemudian peralatannya minim, perangkatnya tidak ada, labnya kurang, apa ya kita kemudian harus menyerah dengan keadaan? Kan tidak. Oleh karena itu, laboratorium maya ini hadir sebagai bridging dari laboratorium yang tidak lengkap itu tadi, kemudian bisa divirtualisasikan sehingga anak-anak tetap bisa mengalami proses keterlibatan dalam proses mereka mengajar. Mereka mengerti bedanya sebuah larutan seandainya kemudian dicampurkan zat A, B, C secara online, tanpa harus kemudian melarutkan itu sendiri karena keterbatasan sarana prasarana. Mereka mengerti bagaimana kemudian garis sudut, hukum pegas, ataupun beberapa teori-teori eksak yang lain bisa disimulasikan secara virtual. Nah itu semua konten-konten itu ada di portal Rumah Belajar dan itu bisa diakses secara bebas, bahkan total bisa di-download secara bebas. Konten ini tidak menggunakan pendekatan managed service, di mana kemudian orang hanya bisa mengakses materi, mengikuti learning management system, login terus kemudian logout. Konten ini sengaja di-develop sama pemerintah untuk bisa di-download secara bit sizing. Sehingga guru-guru yang tidak sempat memiliki akses online secara 24 jam atau full di beberapa daerah-daerah 3T, mereka bisa save semua konten-konten ini, mereka bisa share ulang, nanti di kelas yang akan mereka ajar menyesuaikan dengan skenario pembelajaran yang akan mereka buat. Nah, semua konten-konten itu tadi sudah kita kembangkan di portal Rumah Belajar. Anda bisa mengakses di alamat belajar.kemdikbud.go.id. Ada juga tersedia di Play Store. Anda bisa search di Play Store Rumah Belajar. Anda tinggal install sebagaimana biasa aplikasi-aplikasi yang lain. Dan sampai hari ini saya perlu sampaikan secara statistik, kita sudah dipakai, pengunjung kita sudah sekitar 5 jutaan. Page view yang sudah diakses oleh adik-adik kita selama bulan Januari sampai September ini sudah sekitar 53 jutaan page view yang kemudian dilihat, dan lebih dari 500 ribu apps download kita dinikmati oleh adik-adik kita. Tentu kami sadar betul konten aplikasi yang kita buat ini butuh sekali banyak masukan, karena tentu dalam proses pembuatan kan banyak sekali orang yang terlibat dalam diskusi. Kami terbuka terhadap kritik, terbuka terhadap masukan untuk perbaikan-perbaikan konten ini di masa yang akan datang. Nah, saya pikir ini sedikit yang bisa saya ceritakan tentang Rumah Belajar. Saya kira tidak pas kalau kemudian Bapak Ibu semua tidak mencoba gitu ya. Silakan nyalakan handphone masing-masing, terus kemudian Anda cari Rumah Belajar, silakan Anda akses beberapa konten-konten yang ada di situ dan berikan kami masukan terkait itu. Sebagaimana prinsipnya orang Padang, kalau Anda suka silakan beritahu kawan, kalau Anda ada kekurangan, ada kelemahan silakan beritahu kami. Terima kasih, selamat siang. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Oh, thank you Pak Hasan. Kita harus cukup tangan yang meriah karena itu adalah inspirational project ya Pak. Kami lihat mungkin Indonesia bisa jauh lebih depan negara-negara yang lain dengan project yang dengan skala seperti itu. So I really congratulate you both Pak. I think this is a master plan. In the spirit of our founder Bapak almarhum B.J. Habibie, beliau kan pendiri dari banyak inisiatif. Nanti sekarang setelah 30 tahun kami masih merayakan itu. So I think your project is also like that, Pak. This is the foundation. People will remember you for many years. This is a fantastic initiative, Pak. So this is actually interesting because, you know, the government has got a fantastic initiative. Now what happens to the private sector schools? What happens to the private sector players? How can they engage and work with the government? So I want to ask you, Dr. Rizal, your model of Schoology, how do you see a fit working with government? I'm saying, how have you worked? You must have done this in other countries, right? Like where you have a partnership with the governments. What are the common synergies that you can see from what you do and what Pa Hasan and Pa Gogot are doing? Sure.
We are a platform that facilitates this delivery. So I think how we've worked with government before was that we've been the intermediary between content production by governments and the delivery of this to the end users. So we try as much as possible to accommodate the needs of the end users, the needs of the teachers, and what we try to build into our content will be, into our platform, will be functionalities that allows personalization, that allows teachers to take the content from the, from the government, from the Lembaga Peperiksaan, from examination syndicate, and bring this to the end users in a way that would be usable for them. So we allow analysis of the use of this content. We provide reports for teachers. We provide reports for administrators. So we try as much as possible to create this ecosystem that enables the content to be most useful where they are needed.
So you're not competitors?
No, not at all.
You see that as a synergy?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, no, I'm curious because, there are two different pushes. The government's push is, of course, well backed with a lot of resources.
Yes.
And private sector has different kind of resources and experience they bring together. It's in our common interest to find ways to work together. Not just with Schoology, but many other platforms, many other content providers. Partnership will help everything grow faster.
Yes, we look at ourselves as enablers, and we are happy to work with as many parties as possible.
Okay, so before I come to you, Matt, I want to actually ask Wu, because I came by your booth, Mr. Wu, and I saw you have some very interesting products that go inside the digital classroom. Did you get to bring it here, or? Okay. Can you just quickly, I just want to see it. Because this is depending on the question I'm going to ask Matt after this. So it's not a demo, he's just going to show you a couple of things about this.
So this is only for the design for the education. So you can see like the handbag.
Okay, so it's like a bag.
Yeah, like also designed for the safety. Safety is what most important. So you can see there's no very hurt the anger. So it will not hurt the student. Also, especially the function is like this. Because we are designed for the QTL, so especially in the primary school, the students are easy to work with them. This is for the 70 degree, like this. In the it's 70 degree, 70.
Can you do that again?
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah,
no,
it's still working.
Yeah.
So this is very rugged for classrooms, kids, etc.
Yes, of course. Yeah. So also we have some special design. Also the waterproof. It's splash. The water can.
Oh, it's waterproof?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the device way only for the education, not the consumer product.
Yeah.
It's very very good and available for the smart classroom and digital classrooms. Yeah.
So I'm going to pass this around. Can I just see that, Rizal, if you don't mind? I saw this product which kind of interested me because it's also a tablet. Am I right?
It's also a tablet and a 2-in-1. You can use as a tablet. Also,
oh, it comes apart.
Yeah.
So it's a tablet and a keyboard.
Yes, it's also designed for the education.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Matt, my question to you is about this. You know how kids are with digital things and they have to be rugged. So do you in Australia have experience working on projects where the devices are, built for a younger audience? Yeah. Sure. Just use that. I think it's. Thank you.
I actually have to say, no, I haven't worked on projects with rugged devices, but the value of, especially in remote areas, especially in places like Indonesia, I can see this as being a very useful tool, and especially our program is tablet-based to make use of the affordances of a tablet for early learning, cognitive and physical development, and so, I think this really sort of shows the breadth of product and platform and programs that you're going to need on such a diverse project that our friends are embarking on. It's challenging, but certainly it's very exciting, and there's lots of opportunities, I think, for great collaboration across research, which is probably more our area in the universities, providing strong pedagogical and research foundations for why we're doing things, how learning actually works, and then obviously people and platforms based off from these providers and hardware as well. I mean, there's a whole ecosystem there that has to happen.
That's true. Okay, so I'm going to go to the floor now. So I want to have a few questions from the floor. So while you guys are getting ready, do we have a microphone for the audience questions, please? Can you please be ready? Yeah. So while they're getting ready, please have your questions ready. We have about 10 minutes to ask some questions to the audience. But there's one fundamental question which I would like to pose to the whole panel. Yesterday we had a youth forum, and in the youth forum, the students were talking about not having a classroom environment. So they were looking at, do we really go to a school, a classroom, is that the future? Or maybe the classroom is in their house, or it's in a third place. So there's a lot of lateral thinking about this. Now, it doesn't mean everything will change tomorrow. It will be a transition process, because today schools are organized as a building, classrooms are inside the building. I think for the parents, it's good to get rid of the kids. They go to the school, right? Instead of sitting at home. So it's a babysitting operation as well, right? And they get to only pick them up in the evening while they can go to work, etc. So it performs a different function rather than just being a learning environment. And then schools become a place where they can interact with each other, etc. So that function is being redefined. So any views on that? Where do you think this is heading? What's your view on this? Because so many different views we hear about. I think people want to disrupt everything. They also want to disrupt schools. What's your view on this, ya Pak? Mungkin Pak Gogot, Pak Hasan, silakan Pak. Yeah, please.
Baik, terima kasih. Ini persoalannya zaman ini kan berubah ya. Sama seperti halnya juga dengan fashion. Dulu orang berpikir fashion zaman tahun 70-an bisa kembali kemudian 50 tahun yang akan datang. Sama juga dengan sekolah sebetulnya. Dulu 70 tahun 80 beberapa sekolah yang tidak memiliki bangunan, tidak memiliki gedung dianggap tidak berkualitas. Tapi sekarang kalau Anda lihat di beberapa sekolah-sekolah menempatkan konsep sekolah alam, sekolah terbuka, hanya menggunakan setengah dinding dan beberapa menggunakan benar-benar konsep itu terbuka. Sehingga sekali lagi tentu ada plus minus di balik itu semua ya. Tapi paling tidak setiap proses pembelajaran yang itu dilakukan di kelas ataupun di luar kelas itu pasti akan dievaluasi secara terus-menerus. Karena ujung dari sebuah proses belajar mengajar itu kan kepada peningkatan kualitas kompetensi siswa itu sendiri. Bukan kepada kepuasan gurunya mengajar. Ini saya pikir yang kadang-kadang kita lupa gitu. Orang berpikir kadang tidak bisa membedakan apakah dia beneran mengajar atau hanya terlihat bisa mengajar. Ini akan berefek nanti kepada semua sisi itu tadi. Nah, tentu kalau perkembangan zaman sekarang kita mau menggunakan konsep terbuka atau setengah terbuka atau menggunakan classroom atau tidak classroom, banyak sekali instrumen yang hari ini bisa kita gunakan untuk memaksimalkan semua potensi. Koneksi internet jelas bisa kita pakai, video jelas kita bisa pakai. Dan satu hal lagi, kenapa kemudian banyak sekali perubahan itu yang kita tidak boleh lupa terhadap semua proses belajar mengajar siswa, guru maupun lingkungan adalah pembentukan karakter siswanya itu sendiri. Nah, kalau menggunakan pendekatan kelas terbuka, kelas tertutup, selama kemudian itu bisa memaksimalkan potensi peserta didik dan membentuk karakter siswa, saya pikir nggak ada persoalan. Itu tergantung persoalan pilihan strategi saja. Seorang guru akan mendeliver materi dan mendeliver strategi pembelajaran sehingga capaian kompetensi yang diharapkan itu bisa tercapai secara maksimal. Itu menurut saya ya. Terima kasih.
Anybody has another view?
Well, I think an interesting extension to the open school concept, open classroom concept, is the idea of students teaching each other things. The students also taking on the role of teachers, and where you've got peer learning going on, you've got peer reviews built into the system, and the idea of students or anyone really being able to be in a position of having something of value to share. So your expert in the classroom doesn't necessarily have to be the teacher, or the teacher doesn't necessarily have to be the adults in the classroom. But in a lot of instances, especially in new areas, you can find students in the class who at times have got something that the teacher doesn't. You know, something that is of value to share. And I've seen this in a very exciting trend in certain schools where you've got open days where students apply for the role of being a teacher. So they apply and say, okay, I have something of value to share in this field, and I want to run a class on this field. And what's even more interesting is you've got teachers, adults, taking on the role of students in that class. So it really gives that powerful principle of anyone being a teacher and everyone being a learner. It really puts that principle to life. So this is one extension I find quite interesting.
Fantastic. Okay, some questions from the floor. Yes, Oliver, can we have the microphone to Oliver? Yes. Okay, we also have a lady in the back there. Nanti, you're next. Yes. Any other hands up, please? Okay, one lady in front here. Okay, go ahead, Oliver.
Thanks. Sorry, I don't want to hog the microphone. Oliver from Ask Consulting. Thanks, guys. It's great to have all the tech guys here. And really, I want to know what's next. It's great to hear about the upskilling, the LMS, the content provision, the hardware to support that. But with the development of AI, artificial intelligence, and the implementation and optimization of that, that will be a super disruptive technology in terms of delivery of service provision, assessment, and the program itself. So I just want to get your guys' thoughts, not individually or collectively, on how you're going to future-proof what you're going to do with regards to AI.
Question, how are you going to use AI in the classrooms, right? Yeah. Dari sound system, boleh nggak dinyalain ini monitor speaker di stage, itu kurang bisa dengar. Ya. Yeah, how AI is going to be impacting the classroom. Would you like to take it, Matt? Sure. So we have Matt.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thanks for the question. I'll have a stab at that first off the rank. So, I guess also just framing this in the experience of our ELSA project is that part of our project is also a data analytics platform that sits behind our apps that feeds back achievement statements to an educator app that the educator uses along in the classroom. So in the early years, we don't want to be testing directly. So we reframe these as learning progressions, what children can do, and they are set through certain tasks in our apps. So what we have then is a set of live analytics dashboards that the educators can see and we can see that allows for reporting, but also allows for direct information to the educators to manage things like screen time, which is an important issue in Australia, and also to see the gaps in the progressions of the children they're in charge of. So that's one example from our context.
Thank you. Next question to the lady in the back. Can you just get the microphone? Can you put your hand up, please, so that he can see you? Yeah.
Thank you. My name is Marta. I'm from Jakarta. I think it's quite a fascinating discussion about how to prepare the current generation through technology to prepare for the future 21st century and everything. But it's also like I'm very interested with the ELSA, Mr. Matt, as it's concerned on early children to make them engage through technology to the STEM. And I think my question is, how far do you think it is important to make the children interest or engage to the technology to prepare the STEM, and how's the challenge? What is the challenge, and how to make them engage with technology? I think before early child age, I think it's quite challenging to make them focusing on especially on the STEM, which is it's probably is not an how to say this, like it's a advanced material to be delivered to them. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. How long have we got? Okay. Yeah, sure. So our mandate in the early years is then to look at STEM engagement in that early years because of the gaps in the employment areas of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. However, what we have done in our program is to reframe STEM to move from a discipline-specific knowledge about science, technology, engineering, and mathematics into STEM thinking, because we want to provide a foundation for those children as they go right through their education and into the workforce or into everyday life. So what we're reframing that as is that we've defined STEM practices as points of STEM thinking that are things like creativity, collaboration, perseverance, that they can learn, and these are attributes, methods, values that are endemic in STEM practice. So what we do that through particularly a focus on spatial reasoning, because our other research tells us that spatial reasoning is the biggest predictor of children going into a STEM career. So if they have strong spatial reasoning skills, there's a predictor there already. So our program focuses in around that. So while we're not trying to speak, in our area especially, as the children get older, they obviously can focus on discipline-specific knowledge, content knowledge, but we want them to have strong thinking skills that no matter where they are, they can become learners for any situation. And I think, we've heard before, no one knows what's going to happen in the world in even a few years. So people with thinking skills will be in a better position for themselves and for, I think, to be contributing to their society.
Okay, thank you, Matt. One last question we have, Ibu here. Please do address a question to the rest of the panel. Yeah, di depan dulu. We have to wrap in 5 minutes, so we can probably take 1 or 2 small questions.
Terima kasih banyak. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Siti Maisuri Patahudin from the University of Canberra. Saya mau mengatakan apresiasi yang sangat tinggi terhadap kerja keras dan perencanaan dari Bapak dari Pustekom dan Rumah Belajar, pekerjaan yang luar biasa. Pekerjaan yang luar biasa. Berdasarkan pengalaman saya dalam 2 hari di Jakarta, di mana kemacetan lalu lintas sangat besar, saya membayangkan kalau Rumah Belajar ini menjadi platform yang hebat, saya berpikir waktu anak bisa di-save dengan misalnya mengurangi kehadiran di sekolah, tetapi memanfaatkan rumah belajar dari rumah. Karena berdasarkan pengalaman saya di Australia sebagai dosen yang mempersiapkan guru matematika di sana, banyak sekali mahasiswa yang suka tinggal di rumah untuk belajar dengan jarak jauh. Nah, tapi pertanyaannya, jika ide itu bagus, sejauh mana kementerian bisa mengaplikasikan penelitian untuk menunjukkan bahwa itu bisa jalan? Terima kasih.
Good question. Mungkin Pak Gogot.
Terima kasih Bu, pertanyaannya sangat menantang ya. First thing I'd like to say that technology will never replace teachers. Yeah.
Yes.
Technology born because of there is a need. I agree with you that technology can help students learn from the distance. In fact, right now we have prepared our student in Den Haag. Jadi Bapak Ibu, kita punya namanya Sekolah Indonesia di Den Haag, di Moskow, di Beograd, di seluruh dunia, ya, ada di Mekah, di Jeddah dan lain sebagainya. Di sekolah-sekolah itu kita kekurangan guru, Bu. Ya, di Den Haag kita kekurangan guru, di Moskow kita kekurangan guru. Akhirnya kita membuat PJJ. That's okay, it's possible because to reduce the cost. I agree with that. But still we have school over there. Yeah, we have Indonesian school in Moscow, Indonesian school in Den Haag. Jadi kalau penggunaan teknologi untuk to strengthen the student understanding, knowledge, and experience in different kind of situation, that's okay. But to replace teachers, it's not in our purpose. Jadi kami sudah punya peraturan menteri ya, tentang pendidikan jarak jauh. Can be possible. I mean, we have already our ministerial regulation how to develop distant learning, especially in primary and secondary. But higher school is different minister. With special condition, ya, dengan special condition. Utamanya adalah daerah-daerah yang sulit dijangkau. Jadi wajib tatap muka itu masih disyaratkan dalam sekolah-sekolah formal Indonesia. ada tendency, there's a tendency because we have also equivalency program, ya, equivalency program bagi anak-anak yang tidak bisa attending school karena kerja, ya, karena atlet, ya, karena circumstances that cannot avoid, so it's okay with like what do you call, like a letter, you know, letter from the coach, from the doctors, from any kind of issues that they have. So basically, go back to your question, we will not, yeah, sacrifice, you know, the quality of teaching and learning just because of reducing the time. You know. Thank you.
That's a good answer, Pa. Thank you. It's clear. Do we have maybe one last question, but we have to keep it really short, please. Yes, the last one here. If you have more questions, you can do it after the panel. When the panels come down, you can still talk to them. Yeah? Please.
I have a very simple, short questions. It has to do with leadership. What is your top 3 criteria to select and retain the right kind of leadership to take this helm, to take the education system into the future?
Very good. So what is the kind of leadership, what are the things you need to do to keep the leadership so that the brightest people are in the system? Maybe Pa Gogot, yeah, Pa. Yeah. This is the policy-wise. Di sekolah, yeah. So guru-guru di sekolah harus stay there.
Yeah, this is a very challenging question.
Yeah.
Because 90% of our principal in the school, especially public school, they are over 50 years old.
Yeah.
I'm still less than 50, okay? Yeah, so, and you know, if they are 50 years old, then they graduated their undergraduate school in 1990s early, you know? So, it's like a big lab, like 30 years lab of technology. So what we have done this year, we have, maybe after this, Pak Praptono, from DG of Teachers, will explain to you that we have trained all our principals. Now is the going training, 115,000 of them on the training, you know, to strengthen the leadership in their school. And part of this module that being trained is digitalizing school. I know it's not enough, but that's what we as a government can do at this moment. But for sure, I agree with you, so it's not easy task, but we have tried this year. Hopefully in coming year we can have it more.
Thank you very much, Pa. I think that's all the time we have. I'd just like to say 2 things I've learned. The first thing I learned is if the traffic in Jakarta increases a lot, it's actually good for Rumah Belajar. Second thing is, if I tell my wife that digital classrooms are going to make the kids stay at home and learn, she's not going to be happy. So I think there's still a very strong role the schools play, the infrastructure and classes play. It's a good discussion to have about classrooms being disrupted, etc. But it may not be something that's happening immediately. Digital classrooms and infrastructure being added on to a common public facility available to people, especially in remote areas, is still the way to go. Because I think schools in many of the remote areas is still a better facility than the homes or the local communities. So in countries that are developing like Indonesia, there's still a very strong role for a good quality school to be the common hub in the community for the students and the parents and the teachers to lay the way forward for how the youth are being educated. So thank you very much, Pa, and a big round of applause for our panelists. And I think you can follow this conversation on the YouTube channel. It's recorded there. You can see it again. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to talk to the panelists as they come off the stage. Thank you very much. Let's take a group photo, and I think we have some
token of appreciation
token of
for
appreciation.
the panel given by Mr.
Yeah.
First from us, thank you, Dr. Gogot Suharto, Mr. Habibie, Mr. Mate Bakon, Dr. Iskandar Rizal Hamzah, and Mr. Wu Guanlu as our panel of experts, along with Mr. Sakhin Gopalan, our moderator, for an interesting insight of building digital classrooms. Turun dulu. Okay, thank you, Mr. and Bapak. Please give for these very, very great people a very, very big applause. Masih semangat? Ah, kurang kenceng ini suaranya. Masih semangat?
Masih.
Masih semangat? Masih, betul. Okay, we continue to the next session. Today, in this education forum within the time span of 7 hours, we are all enriched with knowledge of our current education and technology. As we know, we are moving to the 4.0. But ladies and gentlemen, you know what is 4.0? Anyone know what is 4.0?
The 4.0 refers to the industrial Internet of Things, or perhaps a new phase on the Industrial Revolution that heavily focuses on interconnectivity, automation, machine learning, and algorithm. From the phone that you use every day on your very tip of your hands, to the algorithm behind your Grab food and Ovo Cash, all is the byproduct of the Industrial 4.0. As the youth growing and prospering in the 4.0 industrial, it is crucial for us to understand and learn to adapt upon Industry 4.0. Our next panel discussion of knowledge enrichment will discuss on what it takes to teach the 4.0 millennials. It is our honor to invite Mr. Shoeb Kagda, the co-founder of Indonesia Education Forum, to join us on the stage for a perplexing yet interesting third panel discussion. So Mr. Shoeb, the floor is yours. Please join us and give Mr. Shoeb a round of applause.
Thank you very much. I know the shadows are casting longer in the day, but we are still in this room. We've still got a lot of interesting topics to discuss. So I'd like to invite my panel up now. Pak Zulfikar Alimuddin, he is the director of HAFEX. Please come up. Dr. Praptono, the director of Pembinaan Guru Pendidikan Dasar at the Ministry of Education. Please join us. Oliver Anderson, Managing Director of Us Consulting, and Mr. Tony Pang, CEO of CTS. Yeah. Thank you very much. So the topic that we are going to discuss is about taking teaching to 4.0. Now, what does 4.0 really mean? I think we've used this term 4.0 very liberally. We have got industry 4.0, we've got services 4.0, we've got education 4.0. But the very heart of what we are talking about is how do we upgrade ourselves to meet the challenges of the digital age? How do we adapt to these coming changes? And basically, how do we improve performance, right, across all our industries to a level that is going to meet the challenge of the future? All right. Pak Zulfikar, you have a short presentation? Or yes? So please go ahead.
Test.
Sorry?
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Shoeb, for the chance. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking all day about technology, science, engineering, and era 4.0. Let me present you with some hard truth facts. That one is the fact that technology has disrupted us, that we have been exposed to technology every day. Social media is being presented to us every day. And at the end of the day, when we talk about education, we really talk about what happens in the classrooms. What happens in the classroom in the past and what's happening now and what will happen in the future, I don't think there will be a lot of changes, considering that it's always human interaction between teachers and students. So my topic today is I'd like to bring to you how we mitigate the disruptive behavior of students through collaborative teaching design. Let me just say this few words in Indonesian, Pak, just in case. Karena kita bicara banyak tentang teknologi dan era 4.0, dan hari ini kita bicara tentang bagaimana future of learning. Namun sebelum kita lihat di masa lampau, masa kini dan masa depan, tidak akan begitu banyak perubahan tentang proses pengajaran dan pembelajaran, karena pada akhirnya pengajaran terjadi interaksi antara guru dan siswa. Tapi fakta yang paling kencang yang kita rasakan adalah bahwa teknologi telah mempengaruhi cara kita berinteraksi. Dan yang paling mengganggu adalah buat generasi millennials dan generasi alpha, those who are born after year of 2000, basically the level, the span of concentration gets shorter and shorter every day. Kita sudah terlatih, we've been used to with a very short term disruptive moments in life, so it's hard for students to concentrate. If this is the case, how would we then as teachers design our teaching program such that we could mitigate the potential risk of our students in the class? Let me present you with some facts. So we talk about change, the change of the technology and change how we actually deliver teaching. Next. This is how our teachers are developed. We use the FKIP, PPGN certification program. Next. Sadly, menyedihkannya, in the last 5 years, our ranks in the world in terms of literacy has dropped. I think it should open our eyes that we cannot be too confident with what we've been doing so far by looking at the facts. And now we should question ourselves whether how we actually deliver our classrooms today by even incorporating all those technologies, tablet, multimedia, the fact that we've been actually making it really slow in the real world. This is again, our rank quite low in the world in terms of literacy and in terms of human development index. And by looking at how much the budget of state budget for the education, I think it's an alarming fact that should really awaken us together. And I think the forum today should be a good trigger for every one of us to reflect back and think through. Kebalik sayang. Next. Okay, why teachers? Next. In this country, we have more than 50 million students. Almost 55 million students handled by 4.5 million teachers. So there's no more intensive and intensified program in terms of human development than teaching in classes, in classrooms. Can you believe that actually 55 million people every day in this country go to the classroom 7 to 8 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week? So if we look at the index of the literacy and human development index, we should question ourselves. What have we done? How our students have spent their time in those classrooms for those millions of hours if the end result is actually we are lacking in terms of literacy. Next. So here is the causes of disruptive behavior. First is the amount of materials that given to students and the way actually teachers disseminate the material to students. People talk a lot about pedagogy, but I don't think many people do know what pedagogy comes into practice. How do you operationalize pedagogy? It's a big word, but not many people really understand that. Classroom problems. This is what I talk about mitigate. Like disaster, natural disaster, earthquake. It happens, but it doesn't happen every day. But for those of you who actually have experience in the classrooms, know that disasters can happen every day in classrooms. When teachers talk and students do not listen, that's a disaster. Because even when students listen, they might still not understand. So what if they don't listen? They don't even pay attention. So no matter what you bring into the classroom, what technology, what the media that you bring, what the content that you bring, that you provide, if they don't listen to you, then it's all disaster. So to this point, panelists, that's what I strongly believe, that why our literacy has dropped a lot in terms of nations in the world. Next slide. So this is how then we design the new teaching system in our school. So we talk about engagement, cognition, affection, and behavior. This is what we want to mitigate. The four areas as the term of the learning taxonomies and how students behave in the classrooms. And how could we equip our teachers, how we develop them such that they could mitigate all those risks and provide a more effective teaching and learning experience for our students. Next. So this is our new framework. We provide extra engagement in that framework because many teachers have difficulty in creating a learning structure to create more engagement for students in the classrooms. It's not easy to make students concentrate for half an hour, so let alone to get them concentrate for 7 hours throughout the day. So it's crazy for students actually to sit in the classroom for 7 hours. So engagement is the key. Next. So this is what we develop. We believe from our experience in our own schools in South Kalimantan, Global Islamic Boarding School, we found that there are at least 8 criteria, 8 competencies that teachers should be able to master so they could provide a great effective learning experience so that the learning taxonomy of the 4 areas, the affection, behavior, engagement, and cognition can be achieved. Not during the exam, not after the class, but you should be able to see that during the teaching learning activities in class. So the biggest failure in teaching is because we teachers wait until we provide exams and we collect the scores from students to know that they succeed or they fail. And that's the biggest disaster. As teachers, we should be able to observe, to structure, and to grade whether our teaching provides that what students need during the teaching and learning experience, not after the class. How do you provide the mitigation? That's why you need to create lessons plan. Of course, we can talk more and more about lessons plan, but that's not the time for today. Next slide. In our school, we created what we call teaching grading system. So in our schools, teachers are required to record their teaching practice in the classroom. They will bring that into our meeting rooms, and we have a session where we actually look at the structure, the methodology, and the practice of teaching. That way we could see whether our teachers actually provide the teaching practice such that those 4 areas of learning can be achieved or not. So there we actually look at the teachers, not the students. But we look at the teachers by looking at the responses provided by the students when the teachers teach. I'd like to play this video so you could really see how our teaching grading system works in our school. Can we play it now? So we also have kursus.hafex.id. You can check our online course. You still want to be a teacher, right? In economics, right? Unless you want to become Ahmad, right? Then we start training for more quality methodologies. Remember, if we give something wrong to our students, they carry it all the way with them. It's not amal jariah. Think of that. Yeah. So you ask them to check the book for you. So that's the video where we actually play it. Then after that, what we see. So if you bring good experience to teaching, to learning to students, they somehow. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite you later on to check our website, our Instagram, and our online course. In the meantime, I shall give it to Mr. Shoeb. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pak Zul. We have heard throughout the last 2 days that in education, the teacher plays a very central role. The question is for Indonesia, while we have a large population, which is a good thing, but a large population also creates a lot of challenges. Pak Praptono, you mentioned that you have more than 2 million teachers under your care, and you need to train them. Itu kan barangkali satu challenge yang luar biasa ya. Bagaimana you have to train all these teachers. So maybe could you tell us a little bit about how does your department approach teacher training? What do you hope to achieve?
Baik, thank you. And I would like to speak in Bahasa because the majority of the participants is in Indonesian people. Selamat sore Bapak dan Ibu sekalian. Terkait dengan guru, there are 2 things that we have issue in our teacher. Yang pertama adalah terkait dengan pengadaan dan distribusi, the provision and distribution of the teacher. Secondly, we also very concerned about the improvement of teachers' quality. Saya ingin coba kasih gambaran terhadap hal yang pertama terkait dengan pengadaan dan distribusi. Secara rasio, kalau kita lihat perbandingan jumlah guru dengan siswa, the comparison between teacher and students, 1 dibanding 17. Jadi secara data kita memiliki jumlah guru yang sangat berlebih. But in the reality, we found some school they don't have enough teacher, but in some places mereka sangat kelebihan dengan guru-guru itu. Sehingga in relating to the implementation of zona pendidikan, kita mulai memberi perhatian yang serius terhadap bagaimana kita bisa mendistribusikan guru-guru hebat, khususnya guru-guru yang sudah memiliki sertifikasi pendidik, agar dia tidak menumpuk pada sekolah-sekolah tertentu yang biasanya kita sebut dengan favorite school. Kemudian yang kedua, kita juga sekarang dihadapkan pada situasi di mana more than 700,000 non-government teachers in public school. Dan ini satu situasi yang juga harus segera diatasi dengan new recruitment of teachers. Dan pemerintah mentargetkan dalam 5 tahun ke depan, guru-guru honorer yang jumlahnya lebih dari 700.000 yang ada di sekolah-sekolah negeri, itu harus dituntaskan. Tentu kita tidak bisa lagi mengulangi kebijakan all government teachers will be recruited become the public teachers. Tidak bisa seperti itu lagi. But strict selection have to be done to get the good teachers. Jadi kita tetap akan melakukan rekrutmen ketat meskipun sekarang ini sudah ratusan ribu ada di sekolah negeri dengan 2 pendekatan. Ketika non-government teachers usianya their age lower than 35 years old, maka dia akan bisa menjadi CPNS. Tapi ketika usianya sudah di atas 35 tahun, more than 35 teachers, maka dia harus mengikuti skema menjadi guru dengan perjanjian kontrak. Dua-duanya sama sebagai pejabat sebagai pegawai negeri, hanya beda ketika nanti sudah masuk pada masa retired, di masa pensiun. Kemudian yang kedua, kita sudah menyiapkan satu regulasi agar guru-guru ini tidak hanya berfokus pada sekolah-sekolah tertentu, tetapi kita akan distribute ke sekolah-sekolah pinggiran. Sekolah-sekolah yang ada di perbatasan-perbatasan, dia harus mendapat perhatian terhadap pemenuhan guru-guru yang berkualitas. Itu yang pertama, terkait dengan isu penyediaan dan distribusi. Nah, isu yang kedua terkait dengan improvement the teachers quality, kita sedang menjalankan perubahan pola pelaksanaan pelatihan. Kalau dulu pelatihan itu selalu kita lakukan secara sentralistik. Guru-guru kita undang ke satu kota, di satu pusat pelatihan, teacher training center, atau di hotel-hotel, dan kemudian mereka kembali ke sekolah masing-masing. Kita punya 2,6 juta guru, tentu akan membutuhkan anggaran yang sangat besar, bahkan kapasitas tempat pelatihan kita tidak akan mampu untuk kita melakukan teacher training jika kita ingin menjangkau seluruh guru. Sehingga senyampang dengan implementasi zonasi pendidikan, kita juga merubah pola training kita dengan melakukan training berbasis zonasi yang kita sebut dengan program peningkatan kompetensi pembelajaran. Nah, untuk menjalankan itu, maka ada beberapa hal yang sudah dilakukan oleh Kemendikbud, diantaranya adalah melakukan training untuk calon master trainer. Nah, sampai dengan Oktober ini, kita sudah menyiapkan lebih dari 12.000 master trainer untuk berbagai subject matter, mulai dari taman kanak-kanak, preschool sampai di SMA dan SMK. Ditargetkan sampai di akhir Desember kita bisa menyiapkan 23.000 master trainer dari kebutuhan keseluruhan 97.000. Jadi paling tidak sudah 25% kita siapkan master trainer di tahun ini. Yang kedua, Kemendikbud juga sudah menyiapkan unit-unit pembelajaran. Unit-unit pembelajaran ini adalah satu paket materi yang disiapkan untuk guru-guru melaksanakan pelatihan berbasis zonasi. Kita akan menghidupkan kembali musyawarah guru mata pelajaran, kelompok kerja guru yang ada di level SD dengan penyiapan materi-materi yang sudah kita siapkan tadi. Nah, ada perubahan paradigma di dalam teacher training kita, dari yang semula kita hanya fokus pada penguasaan konten, mulai kita ubah ke dalam penguasaan strategi pembelajaran. Jadi kompetensi di bidang pedagogik itu diberikan perhatian yang besar. More than 70% of the content of the training is consist of the pedagogic skill. Kemudian yang kedua, soal-soal yang kita berikan di dalam teacher training juga mulai ada perubahan. Dari cara low order thinking skill, kita juga ubah ke dalam higher order thinking skill. Bahkan kita sudah mulai juga menerapkan dalam setiap penyelenggaraan training itu ada yang kita sebut dengan kelulusan. Jadi kita melakukan pretest dan melakukan post-test. Terhadap para peserta pelatihan yang tidak memenuhi passing grade, maka dia pun juga tidak akan berhak untuk mendapatkan sertifikat pelatihan. Karena sertifikat yang didapatkan oleh para guru itu dapat digunakan untuk peningkatan penilaian angka kredit, dan itu sangat berpengaruh pada karir dari para guru kita. Dan kemudian juga sejalan dengan pelaksanaan PKP ini, pemerintah juga menyiapkan subsidi bantuan pemerintah yang bisa digunakan oleh setiap forum yang sudah terbentuk dan sudah memiliki master trainer untuk biaya operasional pelaksanaan MGMP maupun KKG. Dan ini sudah dilakukan analisis, dan kalau ini kita jalankan, maka secara cost benefit itu terjadi efisiensi hampir sekitar 76%. Sehingga dengan anggaran yang sama, kita pada bulan Oktober ini mentargetkan minimal 500.000 guru itu akan mendapatkan pelatihan dengan durasi selama 82 jam. Nah, ini beberapa perubahan yang dilakukan terkait dengan peningkatan kompetensi guru. Untuk itulah kita menggandeng Teacher Training College, kita menggandeng pusat-pusat pelatihan P4TK dan juga LPMP. Dan kita sudah menyiapkan 1.250 widaiswara sebagai narasumber tingkat nasional untuk bisa memastikan bahwa pelatihan yang berbasis lokal itu bisa kita jalankan. Saya kira itu beberapa upaya yang sedang dilakukan oleh Kemendikbud dalam rangka untuk mencoba bisa memenuhi penyediaan guru-guru yang berkualitas. Dan program ini tidak hanya menyentuh untuk sekolah-sekolah yang berada di kota besar, tetapi juga sekolah-sekolah yang mereka ada di daerah-daerah khusus, daerah-daerah perbatasan dan kepulauan. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Pak Praptono. Saya kira itu jelasannya bagus sekali. Kita bisa arti kalau dari pemerintah ada beberapa langkah-langkah dan aktivitas sudah jalan ya untuk meningkat training of teachers dan juga untuk attract new teachers into the system. Oliver, maybe I can turn to you now. You've had a long experience in education in Indonesia. From your experience and from your engagement in the education system, how do we approach this big challenge, which is two-pronged? One is increasing the number of teachers, and secondly, improving the quality of teachers.
Okay. Through the lens of technology, yeah?
Yes.
Specifically. Okay. Super interesting, super relevant. So thanks for prefacing that, Pa. Really, I'd like to preface that with something that Ananto said, your colleague, the Chief Advisor, earlier on, Ministry of Education. And there's one word that should really resonate with everyone here, and that's leapfrog. It's not a time to catch up, it's a time to leapfrog. So a lot of the technologies we've been talking about so far, whether it's content, whether it's the LMS, whether it's upskilling the teachers in basic technologies, whether it's catching up in the PISA rankings, are fine. It's a starting block, but it's not leapfrogging. Hence, we need to speak about things about AI, artificial intelligence, how that's delivered in the classroom, AR, augmented reality, VR, virtual reality, and so on. Things that are being used in multiple other business sectors for multiple other reasons and purposes that should be used in education. Back to the question. Okay. ultimately the pipeline of teachers is going to dry up. In terms of a sector, education is no different to medicine. Doctors and nurses and teachers are going to be in extremely short supply in the next few years. How do we deal with that? I already know you're already trying to draw in people from other professions, a model that's been looked at across Europe and North America in the last 20 years to differing effects. I think there has to be probably a cultural shift in how teachers are perceived in Indonesia. If you look at Singapore, if you look at Scandinavian countries, models for how to transform those approaches, that's one way. In terms of upskilling the teachers, again, I prefer to look at that through the lens of technology. And really there's three facets to this. The first one is the transformation of teaching itself. Extremely disruptive with technology. One of the common themes throughout today is technology is not a panacea, it's not going to be a cure-all, it's a complementary support in the teaching and learning process. That's fundamental. The other ones is the role of assessments, and this is something Tony will probably speak about. We have to reimagine assessments, particularly with artificial intelligence coming in. Big, high risk, high stakes, summative assessment. How's that going to be transformed by artificial intelligence going forward? And of course, the third one is the learning process. Personalized, adaptive learning. How are teachers going to handle that? What's going to be their position with technology, with AI, and how are they going to develop learner outcomes holistically? I don't really want to use that word, but everyone knows what it means. Behaviorally, intellectually, socially, and academically, of course. And they're the big three buckets. Longer term than perhaps we've been looking at today, and they're really what policymakers, with the help of private institutions, should be looking at. Coming back to your question, Shoeb, finally, before I pass the mic over to these other gentlemen. How to upskill the teachers? I think we've looked at the pipeline. How to upskill them? I think your other partners in ASEAN have had very purposeful, impactful results by engaging the private sector, as Pat Jasper was talking about. Vietnam undertook that about 15 years ago. If you track their PISA results, they're off the chart in terms of development. One of the reasons for that has been the engagement of the private sector. Thank you.
Thank you. Tony, maybe if I can come to you now. CTS conducts standardized tests for Mandarin, primarily, right? How do you work with teachers to ensure that those tests, basically, how does, maybe I'll rephrase my question. How does your program aid teachers in terms of assessing the quality of the students, or in terms of even how do they develop their own teaching methods?
Okay. Let me go back a little bit, talk about the technology. You know, everyone on the stage has been talking about technology evolving and its effects on education. Before I answer your question, I want to address to this. I agree with Oliver that the technology leapfrog effect is very important. So no matter how much goodies you have, pedagogies, content, knowledge, know-how, without a good infrastructure or technology platform, you are not able to efficiently disseminate this information as effective as you want it to a great country like Indonesia and scattering into many islands. So this is one thing I think the infrastructure improvement needed to be done as soon as possible so that the education of Indonesia can catch up or even leapfrog in the future. The second point I want to make before answering your question is today with the popularity of the internet, teachers' role, besides some very fundamental subjects that the students need to learn, mathematics, science, and all that, teachers need to have continued professional development like other professionals, like accountants, lawyers, professionals. Because nowadays, there's no way one individual teacher can learn everything from, say, the trainer of the teachers. The teacher will need to be, from a teacher role, convert to be a facilitator role. Students are able to search and get a lot more knowledgeable, a lot more facts than the individual teacher. So the teacher's role in the future, I would think, is more of how to facilitate, how to collaborate, and how to use different new technologies and conduct the core knowledge and effectively to the students. Then back to your question. How the Mandarin or how CTS can help the teacher effectively trained. I'm not sure if any one of you knows the shortage of Mandarin Chinese teachers in the world right now. There are about more than 300,000 shortage of Mandarin Chinese teachers. Now, if we look at English development, which English as a language has been developing for the last few decades, so the step-by-step improvement of the curriculum, the pedagogy, and also the assessment, and also the teacher training. Right now, Mandarin Chinese is all doing this in, say, 10 years' time. So there are a lot of missing parts right now in this development. One of the missing part is the teacher training. Now, in order for the teacher to be able to teach a student, we have exclusively we have a program called TOXO. For English, you have TESOL, Test of English for teaching foreign language. We have TOXO, Test of Oral Chinese as a foreign language. So what we're trying to do is we empower, enable non-native Mandarin Chinese teachers. So we make them more capable than their students, so that they are able to deliver part of the knowledge to the student directly through internet platform or through face-to-face. This is something that TESOL been doing for decades, but for Mandarin Chinese, we are just starting to do that. And on the other side, if we talk about student training, so everyone be talking about teachers. For the student training, we always think shaping our student in the K-12 sector, the better they are, and then in the future they can be successful. They go to Ivy League school and then go to MNCs. That probably might not be true in the future. A lot of speakers have been touching on the demand. So at the end of the day, the modern workforce, which are our students, if they need to really contribute to the society, to the country, they need to have the capability that is really needed for the market, for the society. So what are the companies are looking for? The companies are evolving very fast with technology, with the market change. Now, the market also evolving very fast with different kind of economic power. Say, China Belt and Road Initiative is really igniting a lot of economic movements. And then the corporation will jump into this business opportunity. Then will create a lot of demand for students who need this kind of capability or proficiency. And then go back to the teacher. Then because my students need this kind of career prospect, then I need to train this. Before I train that, I need to have this capability. So instead of the bottom-up approach where most of the pedagogical education being established. It's still correct. It's still very important. I think sometimes as a policymaker, as an educator, and also as business people, business communication, business community or teachers, we sometimes think about the top-down approach. What really needed for the country in the future? What kind of talents we need? And I think this is a very good topic that can extend another hour to talk about. But I would definitely think Mandarin Chinese is one of the very, very important proficiency that the students of Indonesia need to have in the coming decades. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Azul, maybe I can just come to you and refer you to what Pratapno was saying in terms of the need to train a large number of teachers. Do you work with the government in terms of your program and helping train teachers? Because he needs to train a lot of teachers.
Not only we design a training system for teachers, but also we provide mentoring programs. So this way we ensure that teachers not only learn the technicality during the training, but they would show us the change that they produce after the training. So we've just done this actually 2 impactful training, we call it impactful training in Yogyakarta in South Kalimantan. We invited 45 teachers in one session. After today's session, they were required to submit 2 videos and their own reviews based on whatever they learned from us. The second stage later on, we want them to show the improvement of students because of the change of their way of teaching. So we could really see and measure whether whatever teachers do has impact on students on the dot, on the day. So we can really measure the change of teachers, bring impact to students. And further than that, then we also provide such more like curriculum for teachers to master in terms for Pak Priyanto mentioned about 82 hours of training. We designed 128 teaching training system in 4 months. So we don't believe in short-term training system. We want them to learn incrementally and show the change gradually as well. Because you know that to impact change is not an easy task. Because the very first thing that teachers need to break is their habits. And the worst habit for teachers is the habits of talking, right? Because when teachers talk, actually students do not listen and they don't learn, right? So the very first thing that teachers need to stop is stop talking, but then making questions. This is totally related to higher order thinking skill, why teachers need to develop more skills in developing higher order thinking skills, is for them to actually change from the way they talk, from presenting facts, but then by changing into bringing up questions. Because when we ask students questions at the time, then students actually start thinking. And when they start thinking, and they start learning. And how would you know that? So you would know when students start thinking, when you could see the change of their outlook. Because when you talk, this is the way they look. That's the way they look. But when you ask questions, this is the way they look. Right? This is what I mentioned about affection. You see? So this is what we want teachers to be more aware. You know? It's not aware of what they do every day, but they become more aware of what the response is from students. So they don't wait until later on to know whether they have actually impactful teaching or they actually have it now, right, when they do the teaching.
Thank you. We can open questions to the floor now. And you wanna mention something? Yes.
Just before that, Shoeb, I don't just jump in. I don't mean to be too provocative, especially considering the 2 gentlemen on my right, but teacher training is really, in terms of risk management, it is the lesser of the risks and far more manageable. If I'm honest, the 4th way, as it was originally called by Professor Hargreaves in his research paper in '96, and then has morphed into Education Technology 4.0. Really, we're talking about not a paradigm shift, because a paradigm shift is a theoretical shift. This is a shift in methodologies. Fundamentally, that's it. And some of the teaching and learning processes. Now, teachers, by their training and definition, use multiple approaches to teaching and learning, right? Multiple forms of assessment, right? And within those teaching bones, is the curriculum and the content. So teachers constantly move on this continuum of approaches to teaching and learning. And the use of technology will sit in multiple locations on that continuum. So teachers already have a great skill set that only needs to be slightly tweaked in order to encompass the challenges of use of technology, but more importantly, implementation of great learning frameworks such as a 2013 curriculum, which is great and very skills-based, transdisciplinary. So in a very convoluted way, I'm sorry, Shoeb, to cut you off, I'm saying that really, from my side, the pipeline of teachers is the challenge, the training of them, manageable. Sorry to jump in.
Thank you very much. So we may need a paradigm shift. Not sure yet. Okay, we can take questions from the floor. Are there any questions at the moment on the future of teacher training, or do we need a new methodology towards teacher training? Yes, the lady at the back. Can you just please stand up and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Rochelle, and I'm a Filipino. I'm from Canaan Global School. My question is, you're discussing about taking the teachers, taking teaching into 4.0. While I'm listening with you, I get it that it's all about training. Okay. Now, I would like to ask, is the paradigm of the training being given is really aligned to the 4.0? Simple question is, do we provide the correct training for the 4.0 right now? Are we providing it?
Are you a teacher?
I'm a principal.
Oh, you're a principal, even better. So you're very interested in this. So maybe, Pazul, maybe you can ask, are we training the teachers in a 4.0
yes.
Mentality?
Okay, thank you for such a great question. Now, let's go back to the issue of the essentials of 4.0. Basically, what's required, I hope we share the same understanding, is the ability of students first to be able to absorb, structure, and analyze information that they see, such that they can make effective or good decisions based on that information, right? So, now how would you equip students to do that, right? Because you cannot, because you know from the age of 0 to 18 years of old, students, people are not that well developed yet in their thinking skill. So in the era of 4.0, what's really required is the ability to do critical thinking, to make decisions, to make sharp decisions, right? Now, to do that, teachers need to help students to develop those synapses in their thinking, what we call thinking design. Now, our training is to provide teachers on how to develop that. Teachers, many of them do not know how to develop thinking skills. Why? Because they are not also wired at the same time. This is not the way teachers are built. I don't know in other places, but in Indonesia, I think teachers are equipped with the teaching methodologies. They call it micro-teaching. If you look at micro-teaching, then you know exactly it's against pedagogy. If people know exactly the theory of pedagogy, so micro-teaching actually a disaster. I have to say that, I'm sorry, but that's actually what happens, because as soon as you mention all the terms and nomenclatures of all those subjects, students turn off, you know. No one gets excited because you share with them all these coefficient, you share about integral, you talk about differentiation, you know. But how would you present that, those knowledge in common language? Schulman, the guru of pedagogical content knowledge, would say that you need to provide context. So when you talk to students, you don't bring all those nomenclatures, you don't bring all those technical terms. What you bring to them is how they would connect with the information that you share by using the common language people. Okay. Now after that, after you make the connection with the students, how would you go inside their mind and help them build gradually their thinking design skill? Now we do that. We do that. That's why it takes time. We don't believe in short-term training. It has to be at least 4 months. To be more effective, it has to be done in 2 years, gradually. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Kalau Pak Praptono, how do you ensure that your teacher training program are delivering training 4.0 or teaching 4.0 today?
Yes. In our structure program of the teacher training based on the zone system that we have model we call 5-3, 5 in, 3 on. So in it means that teacher come from a different school, they discuss about the topic, improve the content, how to prepare the teaching, learning, also for the material, and then on, it means that school practical in the school. So in 1, in 2, prepare the content and also teaching planning, and then on 1, teacher practice in the school. And then come back and again in 3, they discuss what the experience from the on 1. And then revise the program and come again to the school, practice on 2. And come back again in 3-4, on 3, and finally in 5. And that's complete 1 period. I call that 62 hours for the completion of the teacher training.
Okay, terima kasih. Yes. Ibu tolong berdiri aja.
Terima kasih banyak. Saya ingin bertanya kepada Bapak Praptono, karena ini adalah concern utama saya, bidang saya adalah tentang pengembangan guru. Pada tahun 2014 hingga 2018, saya memimpin satu proyek yang didanai oleh Australia didanai oleh DFED, dan hasil dari pendanaan itu di NTB kita telah menghasilkan leading teachers, kita juga telah menghasilkan paket pelatihan guru yang face to face for MGMP dan juga yang bersifat online. Dan sifatnya ini didasarkan pada informed by research, ya. Kita namakan pelatihan ELPSA. Karena kita menyadari large scale PD program often failed. So what we have developed, 3 ciri utama yang dikembangkan secara kolaboratif dengan para guru-guru di Nusa Tenggara Barat, dan dia culturally sensitive and contextual based. Jadi memang diharapkan untuk demikian. Nah, dengan paket yang sudah tersedia, Pak, dan dengan guru leading teachers yang tidak mudah untuk membentuknya. Leading teachers kita sekarang itu sudah menjadi guru teladan, sudah ikut seminar nasional. Kita telah membuka pintu untuk mereka. Pertanyaan saya, sejauh mana kemungkinan ide yang bagus itu bisa dimanfaatkan oleh kementerian Sedemikian sehingga manfaatnya ada dua. Pertama, kita bisa melihat sustainability dari program itu. Guru yang telah di-empower bisa berfungsi secara lebih advance. Yang kedua, Bapak juga bisa save money, bisa memanfaatkan guru-guru Bapak. Saya bersedia untuk berkontribusi dan melanjutkan hal ini sedemikian sehingga ide yang bagus ini bisa dilaksanakan secara lebih luas. Terima kasih Bapak.
Baik, langsung.
Silakan Pak.
Baik, terima kasih. Jadi saya akan sangat merespon. Ini ada satu sumber daya yang harus kita optimalkan. Yang jelas bahwa peningkatan kompetensi pembelajaran merupakan adaptasi pengembangan dari pendidikan keprofesian berkelanjutan. Dan ini memasuki di tahun pertama, seperti tadi saya sampaikan, master trainer, we just provide for 20%, so we still need many master trainers. Kemudian yang kedua, material also we have developed, so kita share saja bahan-bahan yang Ibu punya, nanti akan jadi bahan dasar untuk pengembangan unit-unit pembelajaran. Especially for the literasi di kelas awal, di numeracy kita masih sangat butuh untuk materi-materi pengembangan. Saya kira terima kasih, nanti kita bisa follow up for the next.
Ya, terima kasih. I think ini kesempatan bagus mengenai private sector sama public sector yang bisa kerjasama ya. We have time for one more question, probably the last question of the day. Enggak, barangkali kita closing aja ya, because we are running quite long in the day. Yeah. Thank you very much for staying with us. Thank you panelists juga for joining us. Please give them a round of applause. I think it has been a very fruitful discussion. Teachers will continue to play a very central role, I think, in the education system. The challenge for us is how do we empower them through technology and through training. With that, I'd like to close this panel discussion. And once again, thank my panelists. Thank you very much. Hand it back to the MC, and please stay on stage for the mementos.
Thank you to our panel. We will start off with Mr. Zulfikar Alimuddin. Dr. Supriano, Oliver Anderson, Tony Pang, and our moderator, Mr. Shoeb Kagda.
Foto katanya. Oh, foto. Can we join? Kalian suruh join ya? Join foto.
Once again, thank you to our panel for such a fruitful, interesting, and eye-opening presentation on the 4.0 industry.
Okay, before we continue to the next or the last discussion of the Today International Habibie Festival 2019, let me say in Indonesia, is okay? Para hadirin, seminar hari ini bisa disaksikan di YouTube. Coba dicek YouTube-nya.
Di Edu TV ya teman-teman semua.
TV Edukasi, itu bisa dilihat ada live streamingnya. Kami juga dengan senang hati untuk membuka YouTube live streaming namanya TV Edukasi, bisa di subscribe juga channel YouTube-nya.
Oke, terima kasih. Teman-teman semua di sini masih semangat ya? Semangat gak? Semangat gak nih?
Edlin, bentar, ini kayaknya kurang semangat. Semangat gak? Masih semangat? Besok weekend kok nggak semangat.
Tenang. Our education forum is coming to an end. But don't you worry, the interesting eye-opening discussion is still building up. We have one more speaker and we are very excited, enthusiastic, and eager to hear what he has to say. We would like to invite the great mind behind one of our favorite online shopping sites. Any ideas of which site we are referring to? Gimana Kak Nadif? Bukalapak, buka?
Bukalapak, buka aja.
Gimana teman-teman? Bukalapak? Sekali lagi. Bukalapak?
Bentar, kurang kenceng. Ayo, Bukalap.
Oke.
So, Bukalapak is an e-commerce, or the very nice word is online marketplace based in Indonesia that has been operated since 10 January 2010. Ever since its establishment, Bukalapak has won approximately 11 awards, wow, such as Millward Brown Award, Top 50 Most Valuable Indonesia, Ring of 2016, and President Indonesia, Joko Widodo. Tanda Kehormatan Satya Lancana Wirakarya. Give applause. Very, very good. Indonesian people that very I admire. Very.
Without further ado, let's move on to our last discussion, empowering the youth for the digital economy. Please join us to the stage, Mr. Ahmad Zaki, the founder and CEO of Bukalapak. Give a round of applause.
Give him a very big applause.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will speak in bahasa, Pak. Maybe we can mix the language, but if I speak in English, I cannot make a joke. That's the hardest part. Saya diminta bicara di Indonesia Education Forum. Saya bukan educator, saya entrepreneur. Saya juga bukan guru, Bapak Ibu semuanya, mohon maaf kalau nanti misalkan terlihat menggurui. Saya di sini diminta kemarin Pak Ilham Habibie untuk berbagi new perspektif dari mungkin milenial lah, generasi muda, the young generation that already built a tech company. And in here, I want to share all of you the importance of tech entrepreneurship. In United States, the impact of tech entrepreneurship is huge. 20% of the GDP is contributed by tech company, and this is a big trend. And I think Indonesia as a country has to join the movement. So how can education help this perpindahan dari yang namanya industri manufaktur atau pertanian ke industri teknologi yang selama ini dicita-citakan sebenarnya oleh Pak Habibie. Jadi tech revolution ini sudah mengubah hidup banyak orang dari iPhone saja. Jadi ada sebuah joke yang misalkan ekonomi lagi lesu katanya, Presiden Trump itu tinggal telepon CEO-nya Apple katanya Pak. Telepon, produksi Apple jenis baru dong gitu. Setiap produksi Apple jenis baru, ekonomi Amerika tumbuh 0,x% Pak. Jadi it's very easy to US to make a growth, make the country prosper. That's because of technology. And I think this is the paradigm shift that we need to change, especially in education sector. What kind of change that we expect? The first one that I propose is changing from, I call it memory driven. So usually when in elementary school in Indonesia or junior high school, I train to remember things. Ya, ibu kota Indonesia adalah Jakarta, padahal sekarang berubah. Bentar lagi akan pindah. How many planets in the universe, in solar system, something like that. How many country in the world? Those kind of knowledge, I think, maybe gonna obsolete. It's not important anymore because it's already in Google. That's I call memory driven. To be, I call machine learning. If you may, the term machine learning is very beautiful term because right now, sekarang untuk memprogram sesuatu, Bapak Ibu semuanya, itu tidak perlu menulis kode banyak-banyak. Sekarang cukup di-train dengan data. Nah, the concept of machine learning ini bisa diterapkan di sekolah-sekolah sebenarnya. Jadi siswa perlu dipaparkan dengan lebih banyak pengetahuan, lebih banyak pengalaman, dan lebih banyak masalah. Makin banyak masalah, mereka diminta challenge untuk mengkritik, critical thinking. So creativity, critical thinking will be very, very important skill in the future. And I think this is a very, very important paradigm shift, especially in education. So teacher must teach, maybe teachers not teaching anymore, maybe facilitate, just facilitate. Asking will be more important, and then interaction will be more important than just one way of teaching. And I think student in next coming years need more those kind of skill because untuk anak survive itu membutuhkan, saya bisa bilang the brain has to be empty, but very flexible because the problem that we solve now maybe will be different than the problem that we will solve in the next 6 months. So we face different problem every time, on and on. And the kids have to be very flexible to different problem. It's not gonna fix anymore. And I think this is the role of the education to create a dynamic or growth mindset, not fixed anymore. And I found this in many cases when I recruit people. Right now we have 2,000 people. We have 20,000 people apply to the company, and maybe only a few accepted. But when we found some people, usually they have a fixed mindset. Fixed mindset usually when they face a problem, they always say that I already solved this problem before. I am really sure that this is the right way. I have 5 years experience, but actually the environment is different. The problem is different. The context is different. You cannot use the old way again. And yeah, like I said, that's why if you look at most of entrepreneurs, either Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, even in Indonesia itself, myself and the founder of Gojek, the founder of Grab, mostly youth generation. Why? Because the new generation usually they see the world differently, and this is the most important part. When we see the world differently, we can solve the problem in the right approach. That's why it's very rare people from much more experience solving a world problem. Even Steve Jobs itself start from 19 years old, because Steve Jobs see PC is really different. Steve Jobs see PC is personal, and the old generation see PC is mainframe. This different paradigm is, yeah, the one that makes Steve Jobs very successful, including Mark Zuckerberg, who see social. It was portal at that time. Portal is a lot of information, but Mark Zuckerberg see the world as a social. Digital is social. That's why he create Facebook, and no one see that. Even Google, big giant company, cannot see that paradigm. This is I think is very, very important. In this expo, I saw the biodegradable plastic, Pak, and it's very. I think this is the future. The kids must look at this doing something that very, very different compared to this today's world. Because what happened in today's actually is obsolete. That's why critical thinking and creativity is very, very, very important in education. And the other shifting that I think will be impact to the education is artificial intelligence. Yeah, some of you maybe know that, and I think I, as a computer scientist, believe that it's gonna be real, Pak. Artificial intelligence will take over the world. Maybe not 10 years, not 20 years, but 50 years for sure, I believe. There will be many, many adoption of artificial intelligence. If you look at banking right now, I asked BCA CEO, and he mentioned that BCA used to have thousands of branch, but right now BCA maybe the branch half, or they cut the branch. They're moving to this application, and maybe in the future we'll move to automation. In toll road already automation. Automation will be everywhere, and that's why education, my second key takeaway, education must teach entrepreneurship. How to make a jobs, how to make things is very, very important, Pak, Ibu. Because especially in Indonesia, I remember Pak Habibie always told, what is the difference selling one kilogram rice compared to 1 kilogram iPhone? 1 kilogram rice only $1, but 1 kilogram iPhone, how much, Pak? 2,000. It's 2,000 multiple. Crazy, right? Crazy. That's why our people's salary is so low in Indonesia. And I think this is a big problem. We need to create job especially innovative jobs, and kids has to be teach entrepreneurship. And the key point of entrepreneurship is being failure is okay, Pak Bu. So please teach the kids to fail, but also to learn. Not just fail, always fail. But I believe if you fail, you learn something. Don't blame kids if they fail, because don't judge kids that fail in class, maybe get marks, maybe he has some talents, something like that. And I think it's a very important mindset to create very entrepreneurial environment. And this is a very tough job, because in Indonesia itself, yeah, I can see the environment is still very conservative. If you fail, you will be blamed. But we need to change this. We need to change to be a very entrepreneurial environment. So young generation, it's okay to be failed. And then they learn. They got invested. The startup get invested, and then if fail, they start over again and again, and then until they're gonna be successful. Yeah, and the third point that I make, maybe this is the last point regarding Bukalapak itself. Bukalapak is very committed. We are a technology company that the dreaming is to transform Indonesia. We want to be seen, the world see that Indonesia has a tech company like Google. It's not only in Silicon Valley. And we believe that we can do that. We can be inspiration of generation. Maybe in the future, the Indonesian kids can dreaming. I think it's not dreaming anymore. It's real. It's feasible to build something from Indonesia, to build something that innovative, to that changed the world, make impact to many people through technology. And this is in line with Pak Habibie. Actually, Bukalapak itself, I told Pak Ilham Habibie, Bukalapak itself, I start Bukalapak because Pak Habibie coming to my campus. Actually, when Pak Habibie talking to my campus, he always burn our spirit, build something, and then I start nekat bahasa Indonesianya, build Bukalapak. Yeah, voila, it's real. It's getting real. I also surprised. Wow, it's getting real. At that time, we didn't expect to be as big as now, but with the work hard, and I think from our experience, I can say that Indonesian talent is ready to be a world player. We need to improve again, to be not complacent, to be find benchmark to much more developed country. And I believe the biggest asset of Indonesia is the people. And Bukalapak committed to build Indonesian talent. 99% of our talent is Indonesian. And we also build research and development in Bandung together with ITB, because we believe that Indonesian talent has a lot of potential. And together with the teacher, if teacher in here teach the kids of tomorrow, kalau sudah dibangun tadi yang pertama critical thinking, creativity, entrepreneurship, nanti Bukalapak tinggal panen Bapak Ibu semua. We also invest in young generation. We either masuk Bukalapak atau bikin something, kita invest. So I think that's all my point. Hopefully very important to all of you and to the future kids of Indonesia. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmad Zaki. For such inspiring speech, we would like to give a token appreciation from our co-founder. Now, I know you are eager to leave and to go out and see the exhibition, but before all of that, we would like to call one of our co-founder, Pa Shoeb, to come up to the stage and to explain one student challenge for all of you here.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Zaki, for your presence and for your very inspiring speech. Over the last 2 days, we have had more than 100 students from Indonesia, from Malaysia, India, and Singapore engage in workshops, and in this afternoon, they had a youth challenge in which they were actually tested to their max. I saw many of them actually almost throwing a punch, but maybe they didn't, I don't know. But to explain what the youth challenge is about and what we hope to achieve from the youth challenge, can I please invite Faiza to come up, and Sunita to explain what the youth challenge was and how it went.
Good evening, everyone. I know everybody is rushing to get home, so I'll try to make this as quick as possible. We had 100 kids sitting in the room up there, and we gave them real-world markets problems that they had to solve, right? They were given capital, they had to make profit, there were limitations, they had limited resources, they had to find people to work with. They discovered some people were rather unfair in the dealings that they made. They had to sign contracts, and basically they had to fulfill their company target. Through it all, though, what some of us were judging them on were their displays of 21st century skills, their ability to think creatively and critically, to ask the right questions, to collaborate and communicate well, to show leadership skills, to take initiative, to adapt and persist, and finally to show social and cultural awareness. Based on these observations, some of them who showed outstanding displays of 21st century skills are going to be awarded certificates. I'll now pass on the mic to our Chief Crackerjack, Ms. Sunita, and Shoeb will distribute the certificates. Thank you all very much.
Pak Gogot, boleh tolong ke panggung. Dr. Gogot will be giving away the certificates. Thank you very much for honoring us.
Okay, I'm going to start with critical thinking. Can you hold the mic for me? Ishita Sharma, Mohamad Farhan, Vanya Cheryl Antono, Yong Jao Lee. Yeah, if all of you can come up, please. One by one. Ishita. A big round of applause for all of these. Okay, that's better.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the next skill that we'll move on to, we'll do the same thing. So I'll read out all the names and all of you come over and then we'll hand over the certificates. Tabina Anika Khalila, Ananya Das, Naura Rahman Andika Putri, those three, please. Congratulations and a huge round of applause for both of them. Okay, I'm moving on to the next skill that we assessed is communication. Enrico Mikhail R. Maisa, that's the only prize that we're giving out. Come on over. No, that's the next one. Yeah. Congratulations. Okay, for curiosity, the certificate we're giving out for Adit Gopalan.
Come on, Anil. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Okay, collaboration. We've got a few. Marshanda Putri, Alia Zahra Harapap. Those are the two that we have for collaboration. Okay, we have 3 certificates for curiosity. Maneet, Natalia Lisa George, and Mohamad Anugrah Kalbu. Please come on. Okay, the next skill was adaptability. We've got Adam Ramadan, Andrea Tiana Kangmastu, and Neil Nair. Thank you so much. A huge round of applause for all of them. Okay, moving on to initiative. We've got Gracia Agatha, Vatsal, Sneha Thomas. Those are the 3 that we have for initiative. Come on over. Congratulations. Okay, persistence. We've got Ahmad Shaki, Aishani Panda, and Aulia Pushpita Sari. Come on up. Aulia. All right, getting to the end. Leadership. Congratulations. Okay, leadership. We've got Edward Chilikawe, Manan Rathi, and Bebe Sulisto. Congratulations. That's the final one. All right, and the last category is social awareness. We've got Kasia Tandiono, Miladi Fauzan, and Lee William. Congratulations to all of the winners. We hope you really enjoyed the sessions and you took away something that you can continue to work on as you continue your journey. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been a wonderful, wonderful day. Lots of great excitement and great ideas. Congratulations to all the youth leaders who did very well in the Youth Challenge. I'd like to say a very big thank you to Faiza and Sunita for your Wendy and the rest of the team who have done a great job running the workshops and organizing the Youth Forum, and all the speakers for joining us today for the Education Forum. And we hope that tomorrow we will be doing the commemoration for Bapa B.J. Habibie, and if you would like to join us for that, please come along. Thank you very much, and God bless.